cancel culture is about canceling it.
Up yours. Woke moralists. Up yours.
This is systematic bullying that's happening.
And they believe that
Cocaína.
But it's the wax that the Terminator X spun. Now they got me in a cell cause my records they sell. Cause a brother like me said, well,
born like this, it's born like this, immaculate conception. I transform like this, perform like this, which yells you a new weapon. I don't contemplate, I meditate, then off your head. This that puts against the bed. This that I got realness, I just push, cause it's in my DNA. I got millions, I got riches building in my DNA. I got gunk, I got evil that rot inside my DNA. I got off, I got trouble, some heart inside my DNA.
They seem animalistic is what they mean.
No, they're worse than animals.
The woke mob, they ruin everything.
They stop Ben Shapiro from going to events and speaking. They stop Ann Coulter from doing it.
I will never surrender even a single inch of ground to a pitchfork mob.
You never cave to the mob.
We will never bow to the mob. Ever. No matter what.
Do you see the final expression of cancel culture in terrorist groups like
We'll see who cancels who.
They want you to comply.
Hey, what's up?
Hey.
Welcome to the Leftist Mafia.
How's everybody having a good week? I'm doing perfectly fine. How are you all doing?
Doing good. Had a busier than expected day. Emma Vigeland was out of action today.
Here she was incredibly ill,
and
she got the flu.
Yeah.
Did y'all freeze or did I freeze? You hear me?
I'm back.
Am I living in your dream or are you living in mine?
Uh-oh. I can hear you, Lance. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can't hear Matt. He's frozen in time. A specter.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. Maybe his opinions were just too spicy for this week.
Maybe
Alphabet was like,
FBI
no, we're not doing this.
Shutting us down.
Not this week. We're not doing this. Yeah. With the scary eyes staring at me, staring through my soul.
Whoa, what happened there? Did everybody? Did that happen to everybody, or
yeah.
That happened to everybody, or just me?
I kind of lost my connection. I switched like my wireless router. I switched
at
to
the
my
same
other router.
time. My internet went down. Apparently, I think maybe there's something going on.
I was
saying maybe it's Cash Patel.
Maybe there's a nationwide cyber attack.
Apparently, I was the only one here, so I'm in Canada.
Yeah, because they're not attacking Canada.
Yeah,
they're not attacking Canada.
I mean, listen, I will just point out that the deputy FBI director does have me blocked on Twitter, so they know of our existence.
Sussy wussy.
Make of that what you will. Very sussy. Yeah.
I mean, I'm looking online, and that story. Have you seen the? They found the identity of a few of the people who were illegally deported to a El Salvadorian evil like labor camp and
torture prison.
Yeah, and one of the guys is just like a Venezuelan soccer player who has no gang affiliations and his tattoo. Well, yes, but one of the guys. Apparently, they are claiming that a Real Madrid tattoo he has is a gang tattoo.
Yeah, they claimed a rose that another person who is a tattoo artist had on his back was a part of the gang as well. It's 100% just people. It's just Venezuelans. I mean, it's Venezuelans who are literally inside of the border of America.
I mean, what's next? They could be claiming
tattoos, gang members.
Yes.
That's their logic.
ICE has already stopped and detained American citizens for days, just because they looked too Latino.
Canadians, Germans, they're detaining basically a lot of people at airports. David had a really great video about this to basically meet the quota, probably, which kind of begs the question: why would anybody want to travel now or leave the country? I think that that's actually a really bad idea, because it's at these airports where you're talking to border people, and they're trying to find reasons to detain you. They're trying to pressure green card holders to give up their green cards. It's not a great time.
I will not be traveling there.
Yeah. No, I would absolutely not travel to America. I would not travel out of America. Just lay low. Just lay low. Don't go on the internet and say a bunch of things that, will make you an enemy of the state, like we do. Just don't be like us.
Are you talking to Canadians?
People in general. Okay. People in general. I mean, honestly, if you're not in the continental 48 states, I wouldn't go anywhere either. If you're in Alaska, Hawaii, Puerto Rico, I mean, I feel like they'll. Yeah, I don't. I
agree.
Just
I would not do that. No.
The moment
no
you
Leftist
leave,
Mafia show for a while.
Yeah.
IRL.
You think that
Sorry,
I feel like it would be a whole thing. A lot of people are afraid. There's a lot of fear going around, especially with a lot of the laws that he's pushing around. But everybody that feels like they're not, and I said that in the video I dropped today, if he can go after marginalized communities, immigrants, these people, he can come after you for whatever it is. So people think that they're on the side of the safe side of it, where it's not going to be them because I voted for them. Then you see 5 minutes later, it's like, but I voted for you. And now my grandma.
The Canadians who've been arrested were white. They're arresting white Canadians.
I saw that.
Your lack of melanin won't save you anymore.
Exactly.
Well, that's because
the privilege is gone.
To be fair to the Trump administration, to the Trump administration, to be fair, I should say, not to be fair to the Trump administration, but the Trump administration, to be fair, views them as Canadians first, not white. It's the Canadian aspect that's getting them in trouble, not the white part. But I saw a story today about a guy who voted for Trump because he wanted Trump to deport criminal illegal immigrants, according to him. Mm-hmm. And then him and his wife were returning from vacation. His wife is not a legal resident here, and his wife got detained and deported. And he ready for this? He said he doesn't regret his vote because he believes that ICE itself has gone rogue and Donald Trump doesn't know what's going on.
Makes sense.
What do you do with these people? What do you do with these people? Like,
Yeah, and the worst part about that is that she got detained when they were coming back from their honeymoon. So they get home, ready to start their life officially together, and she gets detained. And it took days to track down his wife. Yeah, he had no idea where she was. It was like a week later when she showed up on the ICE website. People are getting disappeared.
Imagine not even having the human reaction of just getting like mad at the people in power who made this happen to your wife. Like if this happened to me or someone I knew, I would I couldn't say on air what I would think or want to do. But this guy is like going out of his way to be like, listen, I do not blame Donald Trump, nor do I regret voting for him. I mean, it's amazing. It's amazing.
No, they don't, and they'll continue to rock with him. They don't care. But once they get closer to their door, then it's a problem. But everybody else who voted for him is still gonna echo. That happened to one of our people, but this is Donald Trump we're talking about. He's gonna save us. We're on the good side of it, which is ridiculous. But Donald Trump is moving towards, and this should be really scary for us to like watch. I mean, it's crazy that he got white folks. Y'all getting got to. That means it's really something. It's really something. Okay.
That's what everyone's been saying. It's like, they're going after white people.
Yes. And so with that, like, it's like it's becoming like a real dictatorship. I mean, I know that's what he's going for, but we can't. What do we do? Somebody asked me that earlier because of this. There's a video online talking about segregation and how segregation would be better for Black people. And I had made the comment because I'm Black. I can make the comment. I said, well, no, because Black folks didn't have, when Black folks had their own towns because we were forced to, when we started to thrive, white folks still came and murdered us and killed us and did all the things. I don't care for segregation, but they were saying how we just need to go and do that. I don't think it's a great idea. And for my opinion, I'll probably do a video on that. But I said that, and they were asking me, well, what's the solution? And honestly, I don't know, because we live in a country that literally does not want any marginalized communities to they do not want any marginalized communities to succeed. And Black people are definitely not, they don't want them to succeed in any marginalized community. For the Black immigrant, like I always say, the Haitians are the face of that right now, and we are like the bottom tier of immigrants in America, Black immigrants. So like, I don't know what we can do, because now it's seeping through to other people who we thought would never get touched, or who they thought would never get touched. So what is the solution? Because this thing that people swear.
I totally agree with everything you're saying. I'm just saying that like that shouldn't be a barometer where people are finally like getting off their seats. Like, oh my God, now they're going after white people. This is the time we have to make a stand.
But it is shocking.
The reason that it's
how you make white people
is that we ignored it for so long. Yeah, exactly. Like Trump is treating Canada the way Canada treats Haiti. You know, like right now, all these Canadians are so upset. This is the way we've been treating so many other countries for so long. Now the shoe's on the other foot, and then all these Canadians are like, I can't believe that he's treating us like we don't have autonomy. And I was like, that's how every Canadian mining company treats the Congo. Okay, we've been assholes on the world stage and getting away with it for so long, and now all of a sudden it's like, oh my, they came for us, the whites, the good whites, not the Canadians.
The good ones.
The best ones. How dare you?
It reminds me of the 2020 George Floyd protests, when there were a bunch of moms that like linked arms in Portland. I think it was Portland. And they were getting pepper sprayed. And, I saw somebody had commented on Twitter. They were like, nothing is going to radicalize white folks more than seeing soccer moms like get maced in the face. Like they can see the activists and Black people get maced and abused by police, but once you see the soccer moms, that's their moms, that's their aunties. So that's a bridge too far. That's what makes them actually wake up, at least temporarily. One thing that I will say that is the solution is there's been a blueprint that's been crafted by an all-Black community in Lincoln Heights. So back in, I think, week 1 or 2 of Trump's administration, Nazis had showed up there to protest. And they showed up, they mobilized like that. They showed up, heckled the Nazis, they ran off, and then they set up checkpoints with armed guards to make sure the Nazis didn't come back. And they've been out ever since then. There's still like news reports about Lincoln Heights having this community have to come and protect themselves from the Nazis, because after this incident, there was KKK flyers being distributed. So they're trying to make sure that this white supremacist threat is not coming back into their town. And so there's videos of people, at checkpoints like, hey, what are you guys doing? We're just protecting the community. And I think that's the blueprint. And I hate to say it, but I think that, if you live in a city or in a more rural area, look at your local LGBTQ plus groups. Some of them are offering gun classes. I think that's a great option right now. Not because we're going to go to war and do a civil war. I think that protecting yourself and exercising the First Amendment right, I think that self-defense is important. And I'm not a gun nut. I still think that, common sense gun reforms is really something that we should pursue, obviously. But I mean, like, you, just like everybody else, have the right to defend yourself and protect yourself. I think that binding together and having these types of clubs, I don't think that's a bad idea.
You're not asking people to go out and shoot people. You're saying if people,
no.
Nazis are showing, but what I'm saying is if Nazis are showing up at your door, it's better that you can defend yourself and maybe take a couple of them down rather than just trample over you. That's what you're saying.
And it's,
I totally agree. Build community, local orgs. For sure.
Talking about this may seem like fear mongering to people, but this is actually the truth. Like I was talking to my girlfriend earlier, and she was like, I don't really get any news unless I'm talking to you. And I'm, I understand that months ago I was on that tip too. I need a break. But when we don't know what's going on and it touches your door and you are not ready, it's like every single day this man is doing something. I'm saying that we got to live our lives, because at the end of the day, I still choose to do that, live my life. But this is the only life I got. However, not knowing what's going on, I had to find a balance. Even though it may be tough some days and it's shocking some days, I just prepare myself for whatever's going to come the next day mentally. I can pull away if I need to, but I'm still privy to what's going on, because this man is reckless. Just him with the education dismantling, signing that executive order earlier. It's
that just
really,
happened, right? Just now.
Yeah, it just happened a few hours ago.
Can you do that?
Which
Can you
is not
dismantle Department of Public Education through executive? You can't.
But
right?
he signed the order,
has
and
to
he
be abolished through Congress. If it's created by Congress, it has to be abolished through Congress. They've done this multiple times. Doge itself is not constitutional. They've broken so many laws. Like afterwards, if we ever get a different administration, the amount of laws that have been broken, I would say already are at least over 100. And that might be a more conservative estimate. Everything that is happening is just not okay. To go into the treasury and allow these teens who aren't vetted to access our data, like that is something right there. You can never put the cat back in the bag. Like these black hat hackers, they can easily install a backdoor. Like somebody who works in IT and explained this to me in a very eloquent way, better than I could ever, restate, explained that like that's it. They will forever have access to that information. You kick them out, they can always go back to it if they install that backdoor, which they almost certainly did. So forever, these people have all of our social security information, bank information. Like the Treasury is the United States. That's the jugular of the country. You get that, you get the United States. So they won after that first week of Doge. And so there's a lot of things that Trump is doing that can never be undone. And when you start to move towards totalitarianism, authoritarian, it's not totalitarianism, like that's the far end of the spectrum on authoritarianism. But when you start to move towards what I think is in a liberal democracy, just switching the president isn't necessarily going to change that. It's very hard to go back. If you just look through the years, like George W. Bush, each subsequent president has expanded the amount of power that they have. And when you expand power this much, you're concentrating so much power in the executive branch, you start to destroy the entire system. Like our system, our founders are extremely stupid. Like a lot of it is just built on norms and a gentleman's agreement. Well, what happens when you get somebody in that doesn't want to follow the norms? We're seeing that.
Well, good sir, back then we were gentlemen, okay? Good sir.
Yeah.
Slave owners.
We duel when we disagree. It's just so there's a lot that can be undone, but there's a lot that will never be undone. And I think that getting people to move away from democracy, like democracy only exists if there's a buy-in, and the buy-in is gone now. No other president has been able to do what Trump did because there's that red line, democracy. But he got them to believe that democracy isn't working and that democracy failed and it was hijacked. So now going back is going to be very tough. Like if we actually are able to unbrainwash Trump supporters, it's going to take a generation. But I don't know that that's possible at all. No, it's not going to be overnight. Like we shouldn't not try. But the amount of damage that he's doing is just, it's so overwhelming.
Yeah, it very much is overwhelming. Even with the ban, right? This is the Muslim ban 2.0, where he wants to add, of course, Caribbean countries, 2 of those. It's other countries that are on there too, but just highlighting Haiti. Why would there's Haiti and Cuba, but putting Haiti at the forefront, making sure he adds that. What's so funny is somebody told me about this few days before it even dropped, and I'm like, there's no real information. Usually you will see something trending about it. They said it's going to come out on this day, and I'm like, I don't know, I haven't seen much about it. Next thing you know, it came out on that specific day, with the specific information, and it's basically, to me, to continue to criminalize and dehumanize these Black and brown immigrants, and then Guantanamo Bay, and then what he did, I think, with that one jail, was in El Salvador or Venezuela, one of those really, really bad jails. He's sending people with no connection to home, nothing, into these really terrible jails. And at first he said it was going to be the worst kind, right? The real criminal. And now it's people with low level offenses that are going to, he's going to bring to Guantanamo Bay.
The Venezuelans got identified by family members. They're like, they've committed no crimes at all. These
exactly.
are literally
and there's no basis for when he did that. No basis.
No due process, no hearing whatsoever. Just snatched and sent to El Salvador, to one of the most brutal prisons where they torture people, they subject them to hard labor, just straight up dictatorship. And the fact that, like, it's, Yeah, no, the fact that we are living now in a country where we actually have political prisoners by definition, like Mahmoud Khalil and another individual now, there's an Indian green card holder. That is very scary because it's not just about green card holders. This is going to be something that happens to citizens as well. Nobody is safe. And I think that Rashida Tlaib put it best, and I've been restating what she said, that Mahmoud Khalil is a test case. If they can do this to a green card holder, just straight up detain him and potentially deport him for pro-Palestinian speech, that is something that you're opening Pandora's box. I'll just put it that way. And there was a story about, I think it was a French professor, it might be German, I think it was French, where he wasn't allowed entry into the United States because on his phone, he had anti-Trump sentiment or pictures or memes, I don't remember what it was in particular, that they said could potentially be anti-Trump terrorism. He was denied entry. That's what we're dealing with.
It's dictatorship.
It's straight up dictatorship. So I don't know. There's really no one solution aside from mass mobilization. At a town hall from Jim McGovern, this is a progressive member of Congress, one of the better people, he recommended a general strike. That's the ticket right there. Because the oligarchs still do have power, and Americans have power in the economy. Like, you're already seeing it. When we flex, we fuck shit up. Like, this Tesla boycott is destroying Elon Musk. And so if Americans wake up and understand that we have power in the economy, like our whole system is capitalism, without our input, that system collapses. It's a house of cards. If people realize that, and unions like, union leaders like Sean O'Brien and Sean Fain come together, I don't have much faith in Sean O'Brien at this point, but if they come together and they organize a general strike and Americans actually hunker down and say, we're not going to buy shit from these companies, that could be massive. Like work stoppages, disrupting the economy, not going to work. We all suffer from that. But it's short-term pain for long-term gain. That is the only thing you can do in these circumstances. Otherwise, we're going to get crushed. You're not going to win a war against the government. They have fucking tanks. You can go out there with your AK-47. They're going to run you over. So the only way that you fight back is through the economy. That's what you do.
Yep.
Free Luigi.
Yeah, I don't condone violence at all, and I unequivocally condemn what Luigi did, but yeah, free Luigi.
He didn't do anything. He's pled
allegedly.
He's innocent until proven guilty. I've yet to see the proof that puts him there.
You guys,
y'all will ride. It was all planted.
On that note, I released the Luigi outro today. The full song, it's on my second channel with the SoundCloud download link if you all want to listen to that. I got accused of supporting terrorism. No, I didn't make it.
Okay.
I got accused of supporting terrorism for putting that out, but I don't condone terrorism or violence. It's just a song. Shut the fuck up, people.
Give me the details of the song. Like who made it? Where is it?
So it's produced by the guy who does most of my outros, Raw Heats, and it's just a mashup of Kendrick Lamar, MF Doom, Cardi B, and Luigi from the Mario Brothers.
Hard hitters right there.
Yeah. And it was my outro. And people were like, "Hey, I want to hear the full thing." So I released the full thing, so you all can download it.
Okay, I'm gonna go check it out. What else has been going on? There's so much has been going on. I feel like every time I get I open my eyes, it's something else. And we talked about the Teslas being on fire. Did you talk about that?
We did not talk about that yet. Would you like to?
Yeah,
we should talk
about that. We should preface by saying that we don't condone anyone doing illegal actions, and that arson is arson.
Guys, we don't gotta keep saying this.
Do we not? Because there might be.
Okay, let's celebrate.
We don't gotta keep saying this.
I think Matt, hang on now. Listen, I just have to say, property damage. No, that's not acceptable to me. If you do property damage, I think that you are a terrible person. I'm also beaming some additional thoughts to all of my viewers right now about property damage, so you know exactly how.
But listen, we don't even know what happened at these dealerships. I mean, from what I understand, spontaneously combustion is a feature in some of these vehicles. Yeah, I mean, they could have just all simultaneously combusted at the same time.
They seen somebody on video.
Yeah.
Well, that could have been in one location.
He looked like Elon Musk. that one location. I got to be honest.
There could have been an act of.
It could be Elon Musk doing all of this,
or one of Elon Musk's companies. One of Elon Musk's own companies makes a flamethrower. The Boring Company makes a flamethrower. For all we know, the flamethrower that Boring Company makes is faulty, and it's going off at these Tesla locations. We don't know. We have no idea what's going on here. Maybe you shouldn't make a flamethrower.
You know what, Alex,
I don't know.
Aside, I do want to say one of them had someone who apparently spray painted #resist, and that gives Fed posting to me. I was like, I don't think for a second like Antifa is shooting up and being like #resistance, comrades.
Straight up
I was told that I was told by Elon Musk that Tesla has AI robots walking around. For all we know, one of those AI robots has gone rogue and spray painted the resistance at the location that's selling him. I mean, he's trying to. For all we know, these robots have. I mean, I've been told by Elon Musk that what is it, AGI or whatever it's called is right around the corner. Maybe these robots are now self
self-respecting.
Yeah. They're just Skynet. It's going on right now for all we know. Again, I don't. It's just like how Elon Musk a few weeks ago was in an interview talking about how he views there's nothing that's destroyed Western culture more than empathy, and empathy is a sign of weakness. And then just yesterday, he's on TV crying to Fox News about how these lefties are allegedly attacking my Tesla showrooms. I was always told that the Democratic Party was the party of empathy. Which is it, motherfucker? Which is it? Which is it?
Y'all getting mad hot today? Yeah.
You want to watch that? Have you seen that? I have the clip. If you all want to see that,
which is it, motherfucker? Do you want us to show empathy?
Buy into this shit. This man is now one of history's greatest monsters. Like, there is literally millions of people who are going to die from a lack of HIV medication, as well as die from starvation from him depriving the poorest people in other countries through the cuts to US aid. He is a monster. Like, he's up there now with Henry Kissinger for mass death. Fuck him. Honestly,
1000%. Just to your point, Lance, before we play this, in a year alone, 1.65 million people are going to die just because of the lack of HIV treatment. And in South Sudan, there is already dozens of children and mothers who are dying. There's one guy who takes care of orphans in South Sudan. He oversees 145 of them, and he said they are dying right now. Literally, just evil villain shit that we're seeing from this guy. So he has the nerve to call anybody else evil.
Like that.
Mike, play the link I sent you.
Horrifying death. That is a slow, horrifying death that he is subjecting people, and it's completely like, it's avoidable. This is an avoidable death that you're forcing people to have to undergo because you're not giving them the retrovirals that the United States should be delivering as per their agreement with these nations. That's fucked. Like, that is a cruel way to make people die slowly.
It's such an unnecessary thing too. That's what's crazy. It costs I think it's under or just over 12 cents per day per person to give them HIV treatment. But those lives, according to Elon Musk, not worth 12 cents a day. Like, that is maddening to me. Maddening to me.
This is from Elon Musk's Joe Rogan appearance. Wait, it's from his Joe Rogan appearance a couple of weeks ago. This is not a long time ago. Maybe like 2 weeks ago, maybe even a week ago. Just not a recent Joe Rogan appearance.
Okay.
Okay.
The fundamental weakness of Western civilization is empathy. The empathy exploit. They're exploiting a bug in Western civilization, which is the empathy response.
The fact that you possess a sense
All right,
of
we don't need to watch
morality
whatever this thing
and
is.
you do not.
That clip is done. And I don't know why they're showing Superman here, but now go to the Fox News clip.
Turn off the very thing that makes you
put
human.
Ablaze in one of your dealerships in Vegas. I've seen this happen all over the country. Bullets are being fired. Charging stations are put ablaze. Teslas are being put ablaze. You have experienced assassination, threats of assassination for you and your family. What have you done that warrants this? Because I see nothing that you have done except help our country.
Yeah, I mean, it's really come as quite a shock to me that there's this level of really hatred and violence from the left. I always thought the left, or Democrats, were supposed to be the party of empathy, the party of caring.
Oh my God!
Isn't that a weakness?
Firebombing dealerships. They're
no, we're the alphas now, dog. We're the alphas now, man. I mean,
yeah, you soy cuck. Enjoy being emasculated.
Yeah, you fucking beta.
That's why we can't take this serious.
I think we just have a deranged. There's some kind of mental illness thing going on here, because this doesn't make any sense.
I love the idea of, oh, I'm just a little small bean who's what have I done? I'm just a good guy.
Where's the empathy for me?
I'm Mr. Nice Guy. I've done nothing to deserve this. I'm just a small powerless bean. Give me a break. Give me a break. No one's
I've only done productive
crap.
things. Tesla's never hurt anybody.
He's out there pounding on his chest 24/7 about being an alpha, about there's going to be a civil war. We have to destroy this, destroy that, save Western civilization.
He is a Nazi.
He's out there Sieg Heiling. Give me a break. He's going to go on TV now and play what have I done to deserve this? Give me a break. Give me a break. Take your pity party. Take your whining. Take your crying. Take your weakness elsewhere. Nobody's buying it.
And people are. And it's really ridiculous because it's when you see things like they're giving Elon Musk so much airtime, you think that, you would say that that's our president. But even when, what was it, a week ago, when Donald Trump basically had some kind of, was that this past weekend? I don't even remember when that was. But when he had this show of Teslas, because the Tesla stock was going down, they literally turned the White House front lawn, or whatever wing that was, into a dealership. Had them in the front, the cars in the front, all cars in the front, talking about he gonna purchase one. Donald Trump. I would never see that man behind the
price list up.
Right? And I've never seen that man drive a vehicle, talking about this is a very good vehicle, just selling it to the American people in a press conference. People are dying, people are hungry. You're taking away health, like Medicaid, all kinds of things from people. And here we are, and you showing off because fragile Elon Musk said they're messing with his stock. They're saying that his cars are not good. They're saying that he's not a good person, so they're not buying his cars anymore, or they're taking them back. So here come Big Daddy Trump, okay, coming in and having to help you. And he just standing on the side like, yep. This is how Elon Musk literal since we started hearing about him beyond the Teslas, and how he took over Twitter. He got mad because people were talking about him. So he purchased it. He got upset because people said that he's not a good person and they no longer want to associate with this dictator. They don't want his vehicle. They're taking it back. So he went and told Donald Trump, and Donald Trump was like, here you go. Have the White House lawn. Do what you need to do. We'll make you feel better. He throws these tantrums, throws his money around, throw his connections around, and that's how he gets his way. And that's so unfortunate, because if America's that cheap to let some person that ain't even from here go ahead and take over, I think that's a lot. That just says a lot. It already says a lot because he's been at Donald Trump's right side with nothing to say. Well, this interview here was like, I get brain rot. He ain't really say nothing, but thank you for showing us the juxtaposition from the first thing. Because how you gonna turn around and tell us that, empathy, that's weak. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's real weak. And Democrats and da-da-da. And now you're saying that Democrats need to show that to you, though. And that's what I'm pissed off about. It's like all of this for nobody else but for Elon Musk.
Oh, I mean, honestly, like a generous read of that is him literally saying, I don't want the opposition to fight back. Like, that's the generous read. To me, the real read is what we're all seeing it as. Oh no, this is backfired on me stupendously, and now people are actually not showing me empathy, and they're listening to what I said. It's amazing. I mean, this is, and hypocrisy really doesn't matter anymore in terms of showing these guys that they're being hypocritical, because they know they don't care. But it's just exactly who they are, though. Donald Trump spent years trying to prove that Obama couldn't lead the country. He wasn't eligible to lead the country and be the president and make decisions because he was actually not an American. He was born in Africa. And what does Trump do now? He literally installs a guy born in Africa to run the country.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what's the difference there?
The guy all of Black history out of American.
He ain't got no melanin.
The guy he didn't want running the country is black, and the guy he wants running the country is white. I mean, that's the only difference I see there, really. I mean, come on.
I got to respond to this bootlicker. Leftist Mafia likes violence. No, you like violence. Okay, the richest man in the world who gets $8 million per day in our tax dollars is cutting off aid to the poorest people in the world who need 12 cents per day
I don't even
to
know
survive.
what we said that.
So
that
is
honestly.
violence. Elon Musk's policy actions, that is violence. So you like violence. So deep throat that boot and choke on it.
I don't even know where that's coming from.
It's the same thing with the CEO who fucking got Luigi, right? Like afterwards, every fucking major news outlet that have all the power, the mainstream media was like, it was so sad. He was a child of a mother. He had a mother and he was given birth to by a family and he loves people and all this kind of stuff. And it's like who was doing more evil here? Who was denying millions of people their health care? Who was like, you know, the health insurance company responsible for the most amount of denials of any other health insurance provider in the United States? In the case, like we were just talking about this with Elon Musk, he is personally going to be responsible for millions of people in the next year dying slowly and painfully of AIDS. Dude, like we're not talking a couple dudes, we're not talking one family, we're talking millions of people and in the most horrifying way possible. And you're supposed to sit there and have empathy for the world's richest man. He has everything. He controls a monopoly. Like,
but they're going to.
A single mother died. Then a week later, her child died, who was 5 years old in South Sudan. That's violence. See, if Elon Musk, you're too stupid to understand this, to that chatter, because if Elon Musk went up to them and shot them, you would see, oh, that's a crime. He killed them. But because through paperwork or deleting something in the computer, he killed them that way, it's not violence. Like, stop being stupid. Okay, we talk about the Matrix, like, oh, I'm in the Matrix. Like, you have taken the blue pill, my friend. You are fucking stupid. Your brain is pudding, and you sound like a complete fucking dick rider when you say shit like that. Oh, you like violence because you're not crying about somebody hawk tuaing on a Tesla. Suck my balls. You sound like a fucking idiot. I'm sorry, that triggers me.
Y'all hot today. Y'all real spicy. And as you should be, and everyone else should be as well. But it's
empathy's for cucks, remember? So this is the new left, baby. No empathy.
Beta male. We're dark woke. We're dark woke. I got hateful conduct reported or flagged on Twitter because I called somebody the F slur. And I'm like, excuse me? So Republicans could call me the F slur like 8 times a day. I could post about the weather being beautiful and they're like, fuck you, F slur. But then I call them an F slur and I get community flagged or whatever the fuck it is for hate speech. I've got some hate speech for you. A lot more where that came from, motherfucker. Thank God. By the way, I don't know if you all saw Kid Rock's response to the Tesla boycott, but it seems like he is joining.
Was that a fake one? The AI, or was it? Let's watch it.
It looks real to me. I'll let you all decide. I'll press play.
Whatever, Mike, because if it's the video that I know it is.
Mike actually made this. It is flawless.
Y'all play.
Yeah, AI is scary. AI is scary these days.
Fuck America. Have a terrific day.
Well, you got to hear the best part.
America.
Fuck.
Fuck America. Have a terrific day. Fuck Elon. Fuck America.
Out of control. This technology.
Yeah. Fuck Elon. Fuck America.
That's fucked.
I can't believe you'd
Damn,
say
they
that.
lost.
Really?
They lost Kid Rock. Amazing.
Yep.
If you lose Kid Rock, then you know you've gone too far.
I know. Kid Rock. Oh, he's gone woke.
I mean, that's got to be real. I mean, it's got to be real.
It's video.
There's no community note on that video, so
there's no community note.
There's no community note. I haven't seen Grok say anything, and what Grok says is obviously word, you know. So that's
But all jokes aside, Kid Rock is still definitely MAGA because there's no taking. Whatever he's done. Okay, just want to because I'm not in the white world, liberal world too much.
Although I will say I have seen a lot of conservatives.
All give you like the white guide.
If you click on
that's the white trash world.
if you click on a post from like a right-wing influencer telling people to buy Teslas to support Elon Musk, there is like a good number of posts that are like, oh, I support Elon, but no fucking way I'm buying that car.
Yeah, I know.
Because what they look like, some of those right wingers ain't gonna be in the backwoods riding a Tesla.
They don't like the idea of the environmental thing with EVs.
Yeah.
They don't like the idea. They don't like that. Also, Teslas are expensive. They're not cheap cars. Like, you know, if it to me, like, listen, like if you were to make the whole thing about EVs, like, to me was like the whole like, Teslas, how can liberals hate Teslas for making EVs? I don't give a shit they make EVs. Give me the company that makes the accessible EV, the one that does the game changer, that makes it possible for people to buy, for regular people to buy an EV. I mean,
you get a $20,000 BYD. It's better than Tesla too.
Wait, what are you saying?
BYD. Grab a BYD. China makes them exclusively.
Oh yeah, can you buy them? Can you buy them in
they're
the
about
US?
$20,000 if you don't have tariffs on them. You can buy them without tariffs in Mexico.
What is that? Is that a vehicle?
It's an electric car.
China's biggest
is
EV
better
car company.
than a Tesla, and it's affordable, and you can buy it, and their batteries are insane. They just released the other day a battery that can charge, and I kid you not, apparently in 5 minutes. And previously, that was impossible because it would make them explode. But they just figured out how to do it, and then they announced it, and they released it at the same time. They're like, yeah, so we figured out how to have a charging station that has such high kilowatts that it can charge a battery in 5 minutes, a car battery. Also, it doesn't explode. Also, it's now commercially available. Like, fuck off.
You can't buy one in the US. You can't buy one in the US.
Oh, in the US? No, you go to Mexico.
They sell them in Mexico? Because I'm reading right now that the BYD is actually delaying opening up their plant in Mexico because they don't want their tech to reach the US and get in the hands of the EV companies here.
As they should not.
They're worried about y'all stealing from them
As
now.
they should
That's
not.
so funny.
Smart.
That's so
Nobody
funny.
wants to work with us. Nobody, because we're not. Yeah, and that's fine. Like, I'm not even mad
So
at
they
it.
got the tech in the first place.
BYD
made in China, and they stole all your technology because they were the manufacturers of it, and then they just took it so much further. And
I'm reading right now. If I'm reading right now that if BYD sold vehicles here in the US, their lowest priced EV would be $12,000.
Wow,
that is insane. That would kill
Tesla.
Tesla. That would be the end.
Cool.
That'd be the end.
One of them is a Batman car. You can get out of it, and it drives itself home, so you never have to find parking. Like, you go to work, it drops you off, and then you get out of the car, and it drives itself home and parks in your house, and then picks you up, and then you get to drive back home afterwards. I saw an American in China who was like, "This is a fucking Batmobile," and why didn't they tell me China has this? They have Batmobiles now.
I love that.
I mean, maybe it's time to just move to China. Maybe it's just time for the
could have more freedom there now.
I mean, President Z, please tear down that firewall and let us in.
I do gotta say, we're living in a weird timeline where I can unironically enjoy libs of TikTok posts. So you know how there's security footage, like your Tesla records anything that happens if somebody comes up to it and tries to fuck with it. So she shared this video of a guy, and she's all outraged, like this is all like rage bait, but it's actually genuinely fucking funny. This guy walked up to a Tesla, hocked a giant loogie on it, and in the video that she shared, if you click on the audio, it's like this funny ass Hawk Tua song. Hawk Tua, that thing, like, just fucking hilarious. And then she just shared a video, I swear to God. Somebody walked up to a Tesla, pulled down their pants, and rubbed their ass on it. I can't play it in here. And she's like, "This is outrageous." And I'm sitting here just laughing at it. Like, why are you sharing? This is fucking funny. You're encouraging people to do this. That's fucking insane.
People should know, though, that Teslas have cameras on the sides of the vehicles that are always active. So if you're planning on going and doing something to a Tesla, just note that you will be on video.
Your ass is identifiable, all right? If you have a very easily identifiable ass, so people can be like, "I know that ass. I can attest."
Well, I mean, if you're just going up with your face fully visible, you should be aware that you're being recorded.
I just retweeted Will Menaker, who's like, "I can't believe this person did this. We got to find out their number and name right now."
Right.
All right, no, guys, I had
beware of
something.
that.
I had something come up, so I'm gonna have to get off the show. It's not anything scary or crazy, so don't worry. But I do gotta go.
Okay, good.
I will see you guys on next, and please, be nice to the people because y'all are on one
We
today,
will.
and I love the energy.
nice.
Cuss the people that need to be
I love
cursed out.
the people. I hate the billionaires. We need to
Okay.
eliminate all billionaires.
We'll keep that.
The only dangerous minority.
Billionaires are not people. We love people only.
Yes,
I will say it's very. I will say it's very interesting that we just spoke about best practices if you're planning on vandalizing a Tesla, and Rebecca was immediately like, "Oh, guys, something came up. I gotta jump."
If you see anything on the news in the Atlanta area, it wasn't me. Love you, beat it. Bye, y'all.
Take care, Rebecca. I don't know if you all still wanted to talk about last week's news, which was it trickled into this week with Chuck Schumer. I don't know if you saw his interviews, which were very good.
I don't know if I found them funny. They made me mad listening to him spread.
They made me mad.
Maybe lie and all the like Hasbara and the IDF propaganda, and then be like, my heart weeps for the Palestinian child when I hear them dying, but we have to remember how bad October 7th was. And I was like, we're still doing this? We're doing this far in? Like, are you serious? I don't know. He's
an outright demon.
I maybe want to smash my monitor.
What made me laugh was that on the Chris Hayes interview, Chris Hayes had his book upside down and he got super triggered by it. It's like, my book's upside down.
Okay,
that was amazing to me.
Wait, what are we talking about now? We're talking about Chuck Schumer?
Chuck Schumer, yeah.
Did
One thing that gives me...
He went on The View. He went on a bunch of shows, and he basically was doing a book promotional tour post, like, basically being a traitor to the United States and the very concept of democracy. And then it's like, now to sell my shitty book. And, like, on The View, he was getting surprisingly a lot of pushback and call-outs from all of them. They were all basically like, I just don't understand the logic of giving Trump everything he wants to try and stop him. And then he kept on trying to, like, pull it back to Israel. I don't know why, but he would just reframe everything and be like, we have to remember how terrible things were on October 7th. And I don't think people understand. And I was like, this is fucked. But Mike is right. The Chris Hayes one is actually quite funny because Chris Hayes actually grilled him quite a bit and held him to account a lot of his bullshit. And I totally forgot.
He's never been weaker. He's never been weaker. And I kind of like, I would be down if you all want to, if we have time. I would call my senators and ask them to call on Chuck Schumer to resign. You're not going to get through to Schumer. I don't even know if he's accepting voicemail. Last I heard, they just turned off their voice messaging. So I think that now is the time that he's weak. You strike while the iron is hot. Call your senator. Ask them to call on Chuck Schumer to step down. Honestly, at this point, I don't care who the next leader is. Just anyone but Chuck Schumer, unless it's John Fetterman. That would probably be the only other senator that's worse. But calling him to step down, get a new leader, there's no reason why he should be the leader. They can replace him if they wanted to. They just have to have the political will. And I think that if we have like enough pressure on our own senators and they realize this is what we want them to do, maybe we can get the ball rolling. It's going to be an uphill battle. It's not likely, but I think like it's worth a shot because, I mean, this man, over the past week, all these interviews, it has demonstrated beyond a shadow of a doubt, he has no plan whatsoever. He doesn't even know what the fuck he's doing. He is unsure of his own words. Like when he was talking about, oh, well, if democracy is at stake, and Chris Hayes corrected him and said, no, but is at stake. And he's like, oh, no, you're right, it is at stake. The man is not meant to be the leader. And to release a book where part of the focus is the anti-Semitism on college campuses, where you are trying to basically provide
which is not
political
this is not a thing. It's not a thing.
Right, but he's trying to provide a political justification for the detainment and deportation of individuals like Mahmoud Khalil. To do this right now is so irresponsible. To promote any book right now during this constitutional crisis is wild for a leader to do. But to promote that in particular, to give Trump ammunition to jail more people, it is awful. Like, this man is not a leader for Democrats. He's a fascist collaborator for all intents and purposes. So I think that calling your senators and saying that they need to get a new leader, that's what you should do, because that is not someone we need right now. He's the worst person.
Over the last couple weeks, I have seen on Joe Rogan and Theo Vaughn full-blown, unadulterated anti-Semitic conspiracy theories being espoused by Candace Owens on Theo Vaughn and Ian Carroll on Joe Rogan, where they're sitting there across from Holocaust deniers in some cases, saying the worst fucking racist shit towards Jewish people. Jesus. And I was like, all of this is getting a pass. Like, you don't hear a single fucking Democrat or person who cares about anti-Semitism talking about this shit. And the stuff that they've normalized on Joe Rogan now is like, it's fucked. It's like the Elders of Zion level tier stuff where like, it's just casual now to be like, I didn't know they controlled all of the media. I didn't know that. I didn't know they did all that. And you're just like, holy shit, this is like unhinged. Like they've gone full Hitler on that side of the aisle.
Daryl Cooper.
Right, Daryl Cooper, and you're sitting there like, oh my god, I feel like I'm losing my mind, because as soon as you hear someone talk about anti-Semitism, it's like, well, it's the college kids on the campuses who basically love Hamas and love the terrorism, and you're like, what are you talking about? The kids on the campuses are like, please stop genociding babies. That's why they're mad. Yeah, I like. It's like,
and
honestly,
those campus encampments are led by Jewish students a lot of the time, and I love how they're trying to pretend like Mahmoud Khalil is anti-Semitic, that like, oh, he made Jewish students feel intimidated. There's actually an anecdote. Somebody sent a letter to, I don't remember who, the court or the DH, I don't remember who, but it was a Jewish student who said, no, he defended me. Somebody was yelling anti-Semitic slurs at us, and he defended me. He went up to them and confronted them. So he was literally defending that, and they're trying to smear him as an anti-Semite. But yeah, to your point, Lance, the fact that you have actual Nazis being normalized on Joe Rogan, Daryl Cooper is a fucking Nazi. And to bring him on, Holocaust denier, Nazi, for him to be normalized, for all of the actual Nazi shit to be normalized, and that doesn't get called out, but the students on college campuses are getting called out. It just goes to show you that like this was never about that. It was always about defending Israel, as we all said. So this whole like I think that if you want to do a book about anti-Semitism and your experience as a Jewish man, I think that's fine. That's obviously fine. Chuck Schumer is entitled to do that. But he is using this right now to run cover for Israel and to try to make it seem as if opponents to Israel are anti-Semitic. And he'll claim, like I think it was a CBS interview, he said, when he was asked, so is criticism of Israel anti-Semitic? And he's like, no, that's not. I criticize Israel all the time. So he's trying to give himself plausible deniability when in actuality, like functionally, criticism of Israel is tantamount to anti-Semitism. This is what the lobby, like AIPAC, and I don't think J Street is doing this, but they're trying to make it so that way all criticisms of Israel are tantamount to anti-Semitism. Republicans have floated resolutions, they might have passed one even, to make this the case. So for him to do that in this environment where we have political prisoners for being pro-Palestinian is reckless. It is reckless.
And scary.
Also, what is 74-year-old Chuck Schumer's personal experience with anti-Semitism on college campuses? I mean, give me a break.
Right. When's the last time you went to a college campus? He wouldn't go. He'd get protested.
Right. Give me a break. I mean, and then you wonder why Democrats aren't delivering with young people. Maybe because you're calling them anti-Semites for protesting the mass killings of children in Gaza. I mean, it's unbelievable.
It's on the subject of,
and then you saw Fetterman's trip to Israel today.
Oh my God!
You got the silver pager.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, Fetterman literally is like the senator from Israel. Like that's his constituency. That's his.
He's the Richie Torres of the Senate.
Like he went to Israel today to do a town hall. Like that's literally like that's it. Like he's meeting with his constituents.
He's been promised a condo in Gaza. As soon as the Riviera is built, we're gonna get you the nicest condo by the water. It's gonna be so good.
I mean, also,
so disgusting.
I mean, aside from the disgusting, like the gross factor of gifting him a silver beeper in order to like honor the
little girl whose face was blown off.
Yeah,
the child who lost her face. That's.
I mean,
cool. Yeah.
that's just gross. But
the trophy.
But also, how do we know that beeper isn't active? How do we know that Israel is keeping tabs on John Fetterman.
Think about it like that.
Like, what if John Fetterman dared to go
a little microphone in Fetterman's room?
Yeah, what if they're like listening in on him? We're not even that. What if John Fetterman one day, let's say Fetterman had another stroke and it knocked him back into place, and he started speaking out against Israel. I mean, who's to say that beeper wouldn't explode? I mean, how do we know?
I had not thought of that, but yeah, now I believe it. I believe it to be true.
I mean, God, I mean, let's
Yeah,
put
I
it this
don't
way.
understand.
If I was someone who was getting on a flight and I saw John Fetterman getting on that flight and I saw that video of him getting that beeper, and I assume, and I gotta assume that beeper's with him on the flight, I'd be like, I'm not getting on that plane. I'm not getting on that plane. I don't know if that beeper's going off.
No. I don't see where it comes from, because I never got I knew he was kind of shitty on this topic, but it was one of those things where it's like, I don't think he'll have to talk about this much, and it's better to have him in there than it is to have a right winger. So at the end of the day, he's better than Dr. Oz, and that's where it is. I didn't know he was like, I literally will die. I will die for Israel. I
actually don't know if he's better than
kind of a person.
I don't know if he's better than Dr. Oz winning, honestly, because if Dr. Oz,
at this point, no, it's very.
What is Fetterman? Fetterman in the Senate. Fetterman is the Democrat who's voted most with Trump than anybody, I believe. Like
Dr. Oz could do more damage as the Medicaid and Medicare person than he can as a fucking senator. So I wish he won.
I mean, literally, what would have the difference been? And there would have been a Democratic.
It's LGBTQ plus rights. That's it. It's the only topic that he is still to this day stood up for. He as much as I think like 3 weeks ago was like, I'm never going to throw trans people under the bus, and I'm like, this is the only thing you're consistent on. Otherwise, you're like, I'm fine with the mass murder of children overseas with my tax numbers.
I think he'll turn on there too eventually. I think he
will for sure.
Yeah, probably.
I don't know what it is. I don't know if it was honestly, I really do think the stroke had something to do with it. I'm not even joking. Like, I know people say that as a joke, but I'm being serious.
He said it.
Did he? No, but I don't mean it like woke him up or like it had him see a new. No, I think it altered his brain.
No, he said
literally
before in an interview that it changed his perspective. Like there was an interview that he had.
No, that's not the same thing. That's not the same thing. I'm saying I think it literally altered it. Like it changed it. Like the wires got, whatever the actual scientific way of saying that the wires got crossed and something, there's something that turned off. He lost his like the empathetic section or the smart section. I don't know what it is, but the brain damage caused by it affected his capacity to think. I'm being serious. I don't think it changes perspective.
I know a lot of people who've had strokes and didn't become racists. So I think that's on him.
Well, I think he always was racist. We know that. We know he was always racist. We know I don't think that he was always racist. We knew
just lost his filter, maybe.
We just fell for the apology in that he was a better person, but it wasn't true.
Mm-hmm. And also, he was up against Dr. Oz, so that automatically just gets you so much goodwill. If only we knew. Like, if I could go in a time machine and warn everybody, don't trust me. Like, don't question. It's going to sound weird, but go for Dr. Oz. I know you're not going to believe me. Just
you remember the crudités? Did you remember the crudités where he was pretending to know how to buy food? I was like, how out of touch are you that you've never shopped before? This is so weird to watch a human being like, well, I'm going to prepare nutrients for my fellow consumers of carbon now. Look before me. I have carrots and salsa. What is happening?
I mean, honestly, though, is there anything? Is there any difference between how weird Dr. Oz sounded in that grocery store and then like when John Fetterman is literally talking about anything related to Israel? I mean,
no, it's worse. It's much worse. It's without question, it's worse. Yeah, no, one is funny, the other is horrifying and depressing.
On the subject of Dem leadership, I don't know if you all saw the new Hakeem Jeffries video drop. I haven't watched it in full yet, but the first 3 seconds, like the robotic body language.
He's so bad. He's so bad.
Nice. Yeah. Look at the setting.
I've never seen it.
I need an empty field, please.
Wait, hold on. What?
An empty field devoid of humanity.
Why does he look? Why does he look like a ventriloquist dummy? Like, I mean, honest, why is his body look like someone's about to like move him? Like, why is he like a ventriloquist dummy?
I don't. I just. I don't know what to say about like this is like I swear like this should be something that an 80-year-old does, not a 50-year-old man. Like, what the fuck is this?
I would be embarrassed to do this in high school. If someone was like, "You got to
No, this
film."
this doesn't look like.
Come on.
This looks like something. You're right. This is something that looks like something who's old and doesn't get it does, but also and he's too young for that. But then at the same time, it also looks like something that someone who's way too young to understand it is doing either. Like, I don't know what he's. Just play it. Let's just watch this thing.
I know. I got.
There's a lot. Yeah.
Here we go.
In
Impeachment
America,
alert.
we don't have a king. We don't have a monarch. We don't have a dictator. In our democracy, we have separate and co-equal branches of government.
He
we
always
don't work
does
for
this
Donald
weird
Trump.
shit.
We work
Trump
for the
is
American
fucked.
people.
Trump is.
It is the Congress's responsibility and the court's responsibility
shaking in his
to
boots.
serve as a check and balance on an out-of-control executive branch. Donald Trump, Elon Musk, and the Trump administration are completely
Such
and
a robot.
totally out of control.
Days are numbered. See ya.
In court case after court case after court case.
Press pause for a second.
Donald Trump is losing.
Like everyone should take like very basic, like camera, like a cinematography or filmography, whatever you want to call it, lessons. The amount of headroom here and the angle of the camera is literally making him look like a giant toddler. Plus, his oversized suit isn't helping either. Please get a nice fitting suit, my friend. Why is it so baggy? Why is it so big on you? It looks like when a child dresses up in their parents' like suit and walks out. Like, why does he look like that? Why does he look like that?
To be fair to him, every person in Congress has such like bad fucking suits where they're all bigger or their shoulder pads stick out and they all look like shit.
Yeah. Well, also, why he looks like he is like cosplaying as Weekend at Bernie's without anyone there to hold him up somehow. Like, he's just.
Are you saying he's a corpse? He's got corpse frizz.
Why are the clothes so baggy? Why is the camera angle set up to make him look like a toddler? Why is he wearing those glasses? I mean, they're not even.
Why is he in the middle of a field?
It's not captivating.
Yes. Why is he in the middle of the field?
And the problem is that this is so
overly
cringe.
contrived.
Anyone. Like, this is it's fodder for Republicans, right? Like, how in
he's
the
a
world do you not see this and laugh when you're destroying the country? And it's like, look what they put together. The impeachment alert is here. You know, like, oh my god,
He's a representative. He's a representative from Brooklyn. He represents Brooklyn. Why isn't he filming videos, looking cool, walking down the street, past brownstones, past apartment buildings?
It's one of the most amazing cities in the U.S.
Why is he in a field as if like Timmy just wished him into the cornfield? Like, what's going on here? Why is this? What's happening here?
This is sad.
Yeah, he has no Riz. He has no Riz. I don't know if you want to keep watching this.
Very sad.
Let's keep watching.
I just
really
listen. Just put yourself in Trump's shoes for a moment. If you are this authoritarian who's doing this illegal coup of our government, would you be intimidated by this? Would you be shaken in your boots if you saw this from the opposition, like from the leader of the opposition? No, you'd think, you know what? I'm gonna get away with everything. I can do whatever the fuck I want because this guy ain't gonna do jack shit.
Also, he really does need like public speaking lessons.
He just doesn't know what to do with his hands. It's uncomfortable.
Not just that.
Everything across the board needs to be changed here. Everything from the way he's presenting it to where they film it to the content to like different shot. Everything. There's nothing good about this. There's nothing redeeming.
No.
His like the pauses, which clearly he's trying to be like dramatic for or tough sounding for. He's like putting them in the wrong spot. Like, he doesn't I've never seen, like, I have seen this before, but it's very weird to see it from someone whose job is it to publicly speak. Like, instead of saying like your time is up, he's going like your time. It's like your time is up. Like, he putting pauses in weird areas. Like, he doesn't know.
He's overthinking it. He's way too rehearsed. Like, if 99% of Democrats just fired every fucking consultant and strategist and just acted like human beings, it would make a huge improvement, but they can't.
I'll be honest though, some people can't. Some people don't know how to act like human beings. Like they are so detached from how
right,
people
but that goes in two directions, right? There's people who don't know how to act like human beings and aren't entertaining or funny, Elon Musk, and then there's people who are horrifying but are some of the funniest people on the planet, like Ye, right? Like I don't know, just saw those.
I don't think I think he's a bad example of that. Honestly, I think Trump is actually a better example of that.
And he's a terrible, like the same thing with Alex Jones.
I don't think Kanye's entertaining though. I don't think Kanye's entertaining.
I think he's one of the funniest human beings on the planet without trying. Same thing with Trump.
Trump fits that description.
Trump fits that description. He's a white supremacist. He's a fucking asshole. He's a misogynist. He's a rapist. He's a literal rapist, and yet he has entertainment value. Whereas this is the opposite of that, right? Like
Kanye doesn't have that though. Kanye doesn't have that.
Oh, you don't think he's?
Maybe you think he does. I don't know.
I disagree. Yeah. I'm not saying he's a good person.
American people are winning.
He's a Nazi.
So now Donald Trump is threatening to impeach federal judges who disagree with his unconstitutional and unlawful executive orders. Here's the thing. House Democrats and Senate Democrats are going to make
Why
sure
cut off his feet like that?
Donald
Like,
Trump
who's
does not
holding this camera?
successfully impeach a single federal judge. Not one.
Oh God.
It doesn't give me the confidence that we're going to survive. It makes me feel very, very worried.
As someone who has to watch Canadian politicians, I'm embarrassed for both of you, because that was worse than a lot of the videos I see by Canadian politicians, and that stuff has built-in cringe. It's by default cringe. All right, it's already Canadian.
I mean, this is what we got.
That was worse than a lot of the shit I've seen recently.
You know what we miss? You know what's hurting right now? Not having P Dog leading the Democrats. We need Nancy Pelosi. Why did she leave us when we needed her most?
Honestly, I'm straight up about to call back Nancy Pelosi. Honestly,
did you hear what she said about Chuck Schumer? She was asked about the Chuck Schumer voting for, and she said, I wouldn't give up something for nothing. She said something like that about. She was better at this than they are, hands down, easily.
She really was. She knew how to whip votes. She knew how to keep her caucus in line. Did I hate her? Yes, because she was against everything that I wanted. But she knew how to be an effective leader, and she knew how to get under Donald Trump's skin. And I don't think she was the most effective ever. But like compared to Hakeem Jeffries, compared to Chuck Schumer, she looked like a fucking genius. Like, bring back Nancy. Bring back Nancy. Like, I hate to say it, but like, we just need somebody who's going to try to be a barrier to Donald Trump.
That Loki meme. You know, you must be truly desperate to turn to me. This hour.
I mean, that's where we're at.
You know it's bad when we're like, Nancy, save us.
Yeah, Nancy.
I mean, she got Joe Biden to drop out. That didn't really help, but she can move mountains if she wants to.
You know she was effective because Republicans fucking hate her, and they don't give a shit about Hakeem Jeffries or Chuck Schumer. They don't give a fuck about them.
They don't talk shit about him. Trump doesn't have a name for Hakeem Jeffries. He doesn't call him like Little Hakeem or whatever. He's just invisible, which is a bad sign.
Trump knows Hakeem Jeffries exists.
No. Has he done a single tweet about Hakeem Jeffries? Even one?
No. I don't think he's ever mentioned him.
He doesn't need to. Like that is enough of an insult in and of itself. Its existence. You don't need to waste your time on ripping into it. And he has nothing to fear. What how was he threatened by that video?
Yeah, no, it's listen, if we had the best opposition party that was willing to fight, if we just had like a bunch of effective Republicans that weren't Republicans, but they fought like Republicans, I would still be concerned given the gravity of the moment and the threat that Trump poses. But the fact that our leadership is Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries, it's just so hard to not feel completely hopeless, because even if they have no leverage, which they do have leverage, they gave it away, but even if they had no leverage, you can still use the bully pulpit to organize protests, organize work stoppages, coordinate with labor. They are doing nothing. They're both promoting books. Hakeem Jeffries promoted a book. Chuck Schumer's now doing his book tour. This is what they are doing. We are Trump is effectively without opposition. It is the best case scenario for an authoritarian wannabe. Like, did Erdogan or Putin ever have it this easy?
It's honestly frustrating. Like, I couldn't like if I was in office, like if I was a congressperson, I would be like, this is like a moment. Like this is the moment. Like this is it. There's no better place to be right now to make a difference and have your voice like actually mean something. Yeah.
Right.
Like how can you not use this? Like it's unbelievable. Like shit. Put me in. Let me. I'll send me to Congress. Send me to DC. Let's do this.
I've actually been thinking, like, should I fucking just run for Congress already and do it myself? God damn. Like, I can't take it.
I'm seeing a lot of people in the chat say Nina Turner, and I totally agree. She could actually like produce a video that would make them afraid, right? Like she actually has the commanding ability to drive into their hearts a message that is like, holy shit, they're coming for us. And like you need more people like that. You need someone who is actually able to get in front of a microphone and genuinely terrify the opposition and make them think that, oh, this is more than just a person standing in a fucking soccer field with sunglasses on trying to, like, you know, spin together some technical, well, there's actually 3 branches of government and this is the reason why we don't have a monarchy. Like that's not going to do shit all, you know, like that's literally
Well, actually, sir, it's not supposed to work this way because the separation of constitutions, Article 1, Clause 2, says that, like, I mean, that's not the moment. Those days are gone. They're long
so far
gone.
past that at this point. Like, he's effectively not listening to the other branches of government. You're witnessing a moment where you are seeing people ignoring the Constitution of the United States and testing out how much can I get away with right now. Pure authoritarianism. This is a dictator trying to evolve into a full-scale one. All right. I don't want to, like, you know, tell you the Pokemon phase of the evolution here, but it's bad. It's not the time when you get in and you're like, allow me to explain to you how the system works, why we and effectively do not have a monarchy in it. Like, Jesus Christ, no, the time for warning people about that is gone. The time for like meeting the moment is here. Like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. I mean, we have Steve Bannon going on, what was it, News Nation, saying, oh, Trump's running for a 3rd term. We're already working on that. And do you think that he's joking or bluffing?
Yeah.
Exactly. If he wants to, he could.
If they want total power, what's standing in his way? Like, what effectively is it? Like, I'm a little worried to do this because, you know, this could be illegal. Like, I might get a strongly worded video directed at me if I do this. Like, impeachment incoming. You know?
Trump, like a couple of weeks ago, he laughed about this. He said something like, he just brought it up. I think it was at the prayer breakfast. I can't remember exactly where he said this, but he's like, yeah, they say I can't run for a 3rd term. I'm like, oh, really? Like, laughing, because, like, of course he can. The Constitution says you can't, sir. Okay, well, I'm going to do it. I'm announcing right now. Well, you can't, but I'm doing it. What are you going to do, bitch? You can't do shit about it. I have the Supreme Court. They say I have absolute immunity from anything. This is an official act. I'm going to do it.
And look how fast all of the pundits right now on the right are already saying that the judges who are trying to block Trump's actions are part of a judicial coup. They are reframing how the entire system of the United States works effectively as a coup. That's not what a coup is. This, again, is to try and keep and limit the amount of power that an authoritarian or a monarch or a king or a dictator can have in the government of the U.S., but and it's going to work just in the same way that they said out loud, we're going to make everyone believe that CRT is taught in schools and we'll get people mad about a thing that isn't real. And they did it. Just like Steve Bannon is like, hey, I'm going to flood the zone with so much stuff that you won't be able to stop us because you won't be able to keep. He's saying this out loud. He's not like, here's my secret plan behind closed doors. He's going on fucking podcasts and being like, here's my plan. Here's what I'm going to do. And you can't stop me because you actually do not care enough to do something about this, and it works. It's like they are literally doing that in front of your very eyes. That's the fucked up part about it.
It's like we're watching a slow moving train wreck, and there's nobody who's trying to pull the brakes. If anything, they're like they're just helping accelerate at this point. It's so baffling to watch people respond in this way, and I feel like watching the people revolt at town halls has been very very nice to see because it makes you feel less crazy. Like you see mainstream media and the way they talk about this so nonchalantly, as if, well, you know, Trump may be doing things that are illegal. Is this a constitutional crisis? There's no urgency to anything. It's just they haven't gotten out of 2017 era Donald Trump, and they don't understand that things are not like they were. Trump is back. He is stronger than ever. He's competent this time, and he's taking political prisoners. We're in month 2. He's already dismantled so many government agencies, broken probably more than 100 laws. It's different this time. So the fact that they haven't recalibrated is just so alarming, because this is how it happens. No dictator has ever consolidated power without a feckless opposition party.
Mm-hmm. That's the other funny part, is that they're still stuck in this mode where they think the other side is playing by the rules, and they're trying to, like, how in the world are you selling books and making little fucking TikTok videos while the entirety of the apparatus of the government of the United States is being disassembled? And you're like, oh no, he can't do this. We will win. The people are aroused. I can't believe this.
He just put out a tweet. He just put out a tweet saying that Biden's pardons of the January 6th select committee members, those are all void. I'm going to go after them now. We're going to investigate them. And they're just like, oh, don't you dare impeach these judges.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Actually, sir, you can't do that because the people...
No, of course not.
It's fucking crazy. It's so wild to me.
What's the biggest consequence you're going to face? What's the risk right now if you continue to barrel towards like a full dictatorship? But who's going to stop you? Who's going to arrest you? Who's going to prevent this from taking place? No one.
It just seems like we're going to get there, right? Like, I think right now we're very clearly in a liberal regime where it's basically very authoritarian, but there's still the democratic facade. The authoritarianism is done with the cover of democratic institutions. I think we're very clearly moving in the direction where there's no more facade. It's just a straight up soft dictatorship. That's that. I mean, look, these things head in one direction, and the momentum is clearly that way. And I don't mean to scare anybody, but like the fact that there's nobody who's here to save us. I mean, the one thing that gives me hope is if people mobilize and they understand collectively they have power, economic power. That would give me
that's
hope.
what this is all headed. But people, it's not a shock at all to me that there are entire Tesla factories just fucking lighting up in flames. Like that is you're seeing the opening salvo. You're seeing the first fucking phases of people literally being like, fuck that. We're not going to sit back and stand and wait for all of these feckless politicians who want to sell books and retire in comfy lobbying circles to just watch the world burn. Like, fuck that noise, right? Like, I think the more people wake up, like you said, if it reaches the point of an actual general strike, then yes, that will be effective opposition. You cannot shut down the totality of the U.S. economy and effectively think that all of these fascists are going to continue to just do business as usual. And then there's enough examples already of like enough pushback in one specific direction does lead to them backing off that fight, right? That's already happened numerous times since Trump's come into power. True. That shows you that there are ways to resist this, and that has to be amplified, and that has to continue to be amplified, because again, it's not the fucking Chuck Schumers of the world who are going to save the day. They're collaborators. Exactly. They're full blown collaborators.
Here Chuck comes to save the day.
I know you got to bounce soon, Lance. I did have something that was a little bit happier. So I know that there's been a lot of brain rot with regard to gamers. For those who don't know, who aren't terminally online. So
what's going on?
There's a game called Assassin's Creed that came out. There's a black character and a woman character, and
That's
the game
already, I don't like it. No women, no black people in my games.
Well, there's a woman. She's Japanese. Got that?
Yeah.
That's gay. He's a historical figure. He was a real samurai. Don't listen to the haters. He's part of history.
Mm-hmm. It sounds like DEI to me. Unbelievable.
So there's a gamer. His name is Fightin' Cowboy. I've been following him for years. He has really good walkthroughs on Soulsborne games. He has a rant. Somebody came into his chat when he was playing this game, and they're like, "Oh my god, this game is woke." And he goes on the best rant I've ever seen. And this made me feel good, and I felt like, this might be something that makes you all feel good. So I'll just play it and let him cook.
I don't give a fuck what your opinion is of this game. I don't care. Your opinion is worthless to me. The quality of health of my morning shit had a bigger impact on my thought process today than you being upset that there's a black guy in Assassin's Creed. So shut the fuck up. All right? We're not doing this shit. It's a fucking video game. If you are upset that there's a black guy in a video game, fuck off. I don't want you here. I don't care. Stop. I'm not doing this fucking argument. Every goddamn game these days. Oh, it's woke. Oh, there's a black guy. Oh, there's a trans person. Shut the fuck up. Either play the game or go the fuck outside, bro. It's not that hard. God damn. I've been on this earth 37 fucking years. When I was a kid, guess what? If a game came out and I didn't want to get involved with it, I didn't fucking play with it. I didn't go on the internet and cry like an entitled little child. Wah, 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 wah. The game doesn't have stuff that I want. So shut the fuck up and leave, bro. Are you that much of a fucking loser that you're seeking out streams of a game you don't like just to be like, wah, I don't like this. There's a black guy. Shut the fuck up. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. That's all. This is the only rant. I'm getting this shit out of the way now. Stop. Because any comment, any fucking comment, I'm just gonna ban you. I don't care. I'm just gonna fucking ban you. I don't care. I don't have time for it, bro. I'm here to play a fucking game, not listen to you cry about a black dude that existed in history, that was brought over to Japan as a slave and then taken on by Nobunaga and made a fucking retainer. All right. If that upsets you, if that makes you not feel like you're in your special place, that's not my fucking problem. Go talk to your therapist about it.
Wow. Who's this guy again?
Not wrong either.
Fighting Cowboy.
Cowboy. Yeah, the Fighting Cowboy.
Good for him. Good for
Fighting
him.
Cowboy. I've been following him for years, so to see this rant from him, like I always knew that he was awesome and based, but to see him just go off, that was very cathartic. Shout out to Cowboy.
We need more people who are not explicitly political content creators, like standing up and saying shit like that, like very basic.
Exactly.
Like we just do. Like it's that simple. Because those are going to be the people who connect to their audience and convince them how stupid it is.
Oh, absolutely.
Right.
Like imagine how people are going to start feeling if all of a sudden they actually realize that they're just being a weirdo jumping from stream to stream to be like, are you playing the game with the black samurai? And then it's like, oh, I feel gross now. I feel fucking gross. Like I got called out for being a weirdo online, and like if I like good as you should.
Yeah,
like you should.
Most gamers don't want to touch this.
Used to be relegated to 4chan. This shit used to be relegated to the weirdest corners of the internet, where all the fucking weird little white supremacist racists could just be like, the N word. I love it. Like fuck that. And now they're all out in the open, just like we are the culture. Like fuck that noise.
They have so many other gamers just tiptoeing around this issue because they don't want to touch this with a 10-foot pole. So for him to just be like, fuck you, shut the fuck up, that is what needs to happen. See, gamers are very like the influencers that I follow, they're awesome, but they try, and I know that they agree with me because they follow me and like my tweets and stuff like that, but they get death threats, they get harassed whenever they start to even go into a little bit of like social justice or anything like that. So for Cowboy to like start this, I hope it's a trend, and I hope that more people do this, because that's really the only way to shut this down and to shut down this fucking trend. Just like tell them to shut the fuck up, tell them to eat shit, get a life, touch grass, lift weights, go get a hobby. That's how it's done, honestly. You can't just like tiptoe around them. You've got to acknowledge the boogeyman of the room and scare the boogeyman away. That's what he did, and it's brilliant.
You know, growing up, I played a lot of like pro wrestling games, like WWF No Mercy. That was a big one. And I wasn't a big fan of football games. I'm not into football. Like I never played Madden or anything. Imagine like fucking like me going up like into up to like someone playing Madden and being like, "This fucking game sucks. There's no wrestling game. There's no wrestling ring in this. I can't fucking hit someone with a Stone Cold Stunner." Like that's the equivalent. Like, the game is not for you if you don't like that shit that's in it. It's not for you. Go play another fucking game.
Yeah. Well, should we get to Super Chats early? Because I know Lance has to bounce. And
yeah, I'm gonna bounce. I'm going to a town hall meeting. Wish me luck. All right.
That's awesome. Good for you.
Who you see?
Oh, and I do want to say one thing. Hey, to all the chats, if any of you happen to be in Vancouver, Canada, and you were listening to this, and you happen to be in Vancouver, the rare other person in Vancouver, get involved. April 5th, we have a by-election. It's not the big election, but it's a by-election. We get 12 to 13%, which means we can vote out the cop cabinet we have. Vote for Sean Orr. Google the word Sean, then Orr. Sean, S-E-A-N, then Orr, O-R-R, and we got to get rid of the cops who run our city. So April 5th, no one shows up. We want to kick out the cops and put a socialist in there. His policy, to turn billionaires into a food we can all consume. That's his number one priority. He's going to figure out a way to transfer and turn every billionaire in Vancouver into a consumable product that we can all
Are you just saying this, or did he say
that?
This is 100% the centerpiece, and he's going to spend every day in the city council of Vancouver bringing this up and how we have to transform billionaires into an edible, consumable bar to feed our children. It's just too many hungry
can't tell if you're joking. Honestly, can't tell if you're joking.
True.
I hope he's not. If he's not joking, then he shouldn't. I think that's amazing.
But check out Sean Orr. Vote on April 5th. It's important. All right. And I love you all. I'll see you guys next week.
Take care.
Have fun.
All right. Peace.
All right. Do you want to go first?
Yeah. It doesn't matter to me. It's up to you. Sure. I'll start it, and then I'll do it. Yeah. Just pull them up as I go through.
Okay. Give me 1 second.
This is
Chris. I'm trying to update the
oh yeah, sure.
Outline
this is,
as I
Chris,
go.
Chris, aka Cult of Personality Birch. Matt, do you think Sam would have Representative John Larson on as a healthcare and Social Security nerd? Wow, they could literally have a 2-hour discussion on SSI. I'm sure Sam would. I mean, you've already sold him by just saying that, I'm sure. Any decision to not do it probably wouldn't be Sam's. Charlie DeGinimer with a membership super chat, member for 20 months. Wow. Thanks, Charlie. Started my new job Monday, and it's trans heaven. My coworkers are wonderful queer people, and I get to help other trans folk with hair removal. Sounds great. I'm so happy you were able to A, find a job, B, find a job you enjoy, and C, find a job that, with good people.
I'm not finding this chat. Who is this from?
Charlie DeGinimer.
Oh, okay.
I see it. I'll put it up. I see it.
Okay.
There you go. Boom. Tokyo Hans gifted 5. I'll pull it up. 5 memberships to my YouTube channel at youtube.com/MattBinder. Thank you so much, Tokyo Hans. Next up is Tokyo Hans with a super chat. Let's see. Where is it? Here we go. Musk. All these Tesla cars and dealerships are catching fire due to communist space lasers. Invest in SpaceX to help stop this. Oh boy. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if that's the route he went, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's go to. Can you go back to the chat so I could Sun Bear with his super
let me
chat.
find that and then I can.
I see it. It's all right. I got it. I see it already. Elon Musk talking about the left having a mental illness. Laughing, crying emoji. He should rewatch him and his chainsaw for bureaucracy video at CPAC.
Right.
JFC. Yeah, I mean, yeah, he's clearly going through something. That's not why he has these. I want to be clear. That's not why he is how he is. Totally, like his opinions are not because something's wrong with him. That's actually him. I'm just saying in general, there's something going on there. I think the drug speculation is pretty seems pretty accurate.
I think so too. Yep.
Now I've lost this.
All right, name it and I can try to follow along.
Why am I yawning now? It's way too early for me to be tired. Themic with a $10 super chat. FS1 talking head Nick Wright had some comments on the Jackie Robinson incident. Thought he had a solid stance and you should check it out. Oh, we should. I don't know if we could play it on here though, because it's probably ESPN, right? And they might be.
Oh yeah, you don't want to play that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Foresto with a super chat. So everyone should go check that out though. Foresto with a super chat. And by the way, for people who don't know what he's talking about, the Jackie Robinson incident is that Jackie Robinson's military profile was removed from the government website because of DEI initiatives from Trump. And they literally put DEI in the broken URL that removed it. And they've since put it back after outroar over it. And there are people who are arguing that Jackie Robinson shouldn't count as against this initiative. He wasn't a DEI hire. He had talent. And I believe what Nick Wright, the ESPN employee, was arguing, which I would also argue, and people who know what DEI actually means would argue, is that obviously Jackie Robinson was without a doubt a DEI hire. He was literally hired as the player to integrate baseball. He was absolutely hired because not just because he was extremely talented, but also because he was black. And that's literally the definition of DEI, just making sure that equally talented people have the same opportunities as white people. It's not to just give someone a job because of their skin color or their gender or gender identity or whatever. It's literally just to make sure that someone equally qualified for the position doesn't get overlooked or outright avoided for the position because of who they are, their skin color, their race, their ethnicity, their sex, their gender, whatever.
DEI is good. These things they bring up, CRT, DEI, these are good things. I like them. They demonize them, but they're actually good. You said Foresto was next, right? Is it this Foresto chat?
I mean, a great question to ask these people who don't think, Jackie Robinson had anything to. Why was he the first black person? Do you literally believe that in the entire history of baseball that there wasn't a single Negro League player that was that talented to play in the MLB, Major Leagues? You literally think it took that long down the line for them to hire a black person, and it was because Jackie Robinson was the first talented black player? You're out of your mind if you think that. You're literally stupid if you think that. All right, let's go to Foresto with a super chat. By the way, our insurance company is refusing to allow my wife's doctor to submit a claim for a pregnancy-related device. Not denying it, refusing to allow the attempt. Oh, boy. Well, that's rough. I don't know if you want to tell me much more details, but I mean, it's ridiculous. Sorry about that.
Oh, okay. Was it this Foresto super chat that you?
Yeah, I just read it. Yep.
Okay. So I'll follow along again.
Yep. The next post is from next super chat is from Tokyo Hans. Chinese electric cars are stealing all of Musk's ideas. EVs charge in 5 minutes. Self-driving cars. Musk promised us this 15 years ago. Does IP not mean anything anymore? Oh boy, yep. Next thing you know, if China gets to Mars first, Elon's going to be complaining that they stole his idea. We're never going to Mars. Not in my lifetime.
Not going to happen. I don't care. I would love to see it, but there's other things that I care more about.
Yeah. I mean, let me make sure I amend that with not in my lifetime. Maybe somewhere towards the end of my life. I don't think who knows if we're ever going, but it's not happening in my lifetime or anywhere where I'm young enough to appreciate it as if I'm gonna somehow enjoy a trip to Mars. We ain't going to Mars, like you and me. Let's play that straight too. Even if somehow they got to Mars in the next 20, 30 years, as Musk is saying, that's going to be for the very rich and wealthy. And they're going to literally colonize it like they say they want to do. Colonize it, not in the space exploration way that you think of. Literally colonize it in the very literally American way of colonizing countries.
I would love for them to go to Mars and stay there. It would be great if we can try to just keep the planet we have. That's my goal currently. So if they want to leave, I'm down for that.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, I'm seeing all the very nice comments about me hosting the Majority Report earlier today. I appreciate it. I hope Emma Vigeland feels better. She got sick last minute. And like an hour or two before the show started, she texted me and was like, "Hey, Binder, how do you feel about hosting the show today?" I was like, "Yeah, sure, why not?" And Matt Leck and Brandon Sutton and the new producer who has not yet officially been introduced to the audience. Yet I accidentally told everyone his name, even though Sam wanted to be the one to do that tomorrow.
Oh no!
I went on the air today and I was like, "Oh, thank you to Matt Leck and Brandon and the new producer." And then I named him, and they're like, "Oh, Binder, we weren't supposed to. Sam he hasn't been introduced yet." And I was like, "Oh man!" And I was like, "But what the fuck do I know? I don't watch this show. How was I supposed to know he hasn't been introduced yet?" Oh, you gotta warn me about these things. You gotta let me know.
Yeah. That's true.
So tomorrow, if you tune into the Majority Report, when Sam unveils the name and details and information about the new producer for MR, I need you all to do me a huge favor and act surprised this shit. And really like build it up. Like really overdo it. Dramatize it a bit. Like when Sam says his name, I want you to straight up be like, "Oh, I've never even heard that name before. I didn't even know that was a name people could use. I didn't even know people were named that." Just really ham it up for me.
There you go.
All right. Let's go to Tokyo Hans with a super chat. Tokyo Hans got 2 super chats in a row here. Call your senators. Let them know that thanks to Schumer, you are no longer aroused. Yes, please. In fact, we should all get together, and film a video, much like the Schumer one, and we should be like, "The people are flaccid. We're all flaccid now." And Tokyo Hans, another super chat. Chat for Usama. Pakistan abducted the principal of the Balochistan Medical College, Dr. Ilyas Boloch, from his home in the capital of Balochistan, Quetta. Oh boy. I gotta talk to Usama. We gotta get Usama on this show or something. We gotta talk to Usama. Thank you, Donald S, for the super chat with nothing there. And then Donald S got another one here. Matt, it's the Obama pause. It's the Obama bot factory they send them to. No, but Obama was good at it. Obama was a very good speaker. I mean, he was really good. It was a skill he had. So the Obama pause, when Obama was doing it, he knew when to do it, how to do it, where to do it. He was good at it.
It felt more natural, too, and not contrived when Obama did it. He was just naturally charismatic and gifted as a speaker.
Yes. So, like, if this was like a school that people are going to in the Democratic Party or a bot factory, then, they either all have to get re-educated or there is a malfunction at the bot factory because they're not coming out speaking as good as Obama. There's no one in the Democratic Party who's got that Obama aura or speaking abilities. Listen, I have plenty of criticism about Obama as a politician, on policy, on how he, his administration, disappointment in so many ways. But there's no denying he was a fantastic speaker and he was extremely charismatic.
Agreed.
Let's see. We got the YouTube chat is so ridiculous that it's like freezing on me, and I have a very good computer I've not seen it freeze on anything else but the YouTube chat when I'm trying to get through these. Rochelle DeHingra with a super chat. I read somewhere that a recent poll showed that Gen Alpha and Gen Zs believe voting will not get us out of this mess. I'm Gen X, and I now agree. If you ask me, more Gen Xers like you should believe that voting is worthless and they should not vote. I am fully on board Gen X no longer voting.
Well, not like her, because she's one of the good ones.
You're one of the good ones, but I'm fully on board. Gen X no longer thinking voting matters. The millennials and the boomers will take it from here. I still can't believe the boomers are the good ones now. At least the general boomers. The boomers in power are still very bad. But I swear, the most anti-Trump, anti-Musk people I've come across are boomers. They're the people showing up at the town halls.
Because of the decorum that Trump has broken. Yeah, no, that's true. It was mostly old people at my town hall when I went to it, and it's a lot of old people at these town halls across the country. Shout out to the boomers for showing up and getting pissed off.
It's that Lord of the Rings meme with like the dwarf character and the elf character standing side by side, saying like, "Oh, I didn't know I would go to war with. I never imagined I'd go to war with an elf or something like that." That's us with the boomers. I never thought I'd die in battle with a boomer alongside me.
Mortal enemies, millennials and boomers coming together, slay the orange man.
I mean, literally. I mean, you look at the voting patterns and the disapproval ratings. I don't get what happened. I don't get it. But I think Gen Z will be fine. I think they're waking up and smarting up.
A lot of it is lack of turnout as well. Like I think that people are drawing too many conclusions from the demographics of this election. When if you look at like the amount of the population who didn't vote, I don't remember who conducted the poll, but somebody shared it. The disapproval for Trump among non-voters was like 83% or something like that. So turnout was the factor. I think people just didn't want to
for Gen Z.
Yeah. So I wouldn't be too down on Gen Z just yet. They're young, and young people are usually more open-minded. There's certainly an element of Gen Z that's super conservative, especially Gen Z men. But that's not all Gen Z men. And I haven't lost faith yet in them. I've lost faith in the country and everyone else, mostly in the system, but not in Gen Z.
I think when it comes to generations, there's hope for them all, except for Gen X. Sorry, Gen X is done. They're hopeless. COVID scrambled their brains. It's done. There's no coming back from that.
Scrambled a lot of people's brains for sure.
Gen X had to spend 2 months home with their kids, and it drove them crazy, apparently, to the point where they fully became conservative.
Become fascists.
Yeah, they were like, oh, Billy can't go to school. That's it. 999. I'm joking. There's plenty of good Gen X people. I see some Gen X people are getting angry in the chat, but you have to look at the polls, guys. I'm not just making shit out of thin air. Gen X is now the most conservative generation. They're more conservative than the boomers. They have gone fully right wing not individually each Gen Xer, but as a whole, Gen X has changed in unfortunate ways. If only Kurt Cobain was alive to see how they went. He'd be so disappointed in you all. He would just see what was going on. He'd take a shotgun and, all right, I'm not going there.
Too soon.
All right, let's move on. Lars with a super chat. Saw No Other Land. Got 2 people who never heard of the West Bank to go. Interesting way for them to learn about it. Theater was fully packed, by the way.
Nice. I love to hear
good.
that.
That's good.
Hell yeah.
Where did you see it?
Because I hope it's general, because if it's in general theaters, I'd love to go see it just to support it. I mean, I want to see it as well, but I'd love to support it.
Yeah, and hopefully that movie theater you saw it in isn't renting property from the government. Otherwise, the local politicians might try to kick them out of the building because they showed that film, that Academy Award-winning film. Yeah. Insanity going on. Charlie DeGenemer with a super chat. Cowboy has a based bit about trans people too. Oh, you talking about that YouTuber? Is that a YouTuber or a Twitch streamer? The guy you showed, Mike.
He's a YouTuber.
Rachel with a super chat. Thank you all for the laughs. My stomach hurts. Free Palestine and bring back dark woke. Absolutely. I mean, we
are absolutely.
We're bringing dark woke back, baby.
We've been on that dark woke train.
We've
for a
been
very
dark
long
woke,
time.
right? Yeah. Looney Tunes 9000 with a super chat. I missed Matt Jardy report, but who's the new guy? I cannot officially spill the beans. You're gonna have to tune into the Majority Report tomorrow, where Sam will officially introduce the new producer. Joey McClure with a $10 super chat. Thank you, Joey. Or Joe. I guess it may be Joe, just Joe. Not just equal.
I read that as Joey too, actually. I don't know why.
Yeah, but it's Joe. Not just equal. Robinson was picked because he was great and was willing to put up with racism. Much like almost all minority hires, they are already better than most of the fail sons promoted past them. Yeah, great point. Yes, he was even better than the players already playing in the major leagues. The white players already playing in the major leagues. I mean, but like there were so many players that who's I can't remember his name. I'm trying to remember who's considered like one of the greatest baseball players of all time. And is it Satchel Paige? I think. Right, Satchel Paige, and he was stuck playing in the Negro League for, I think, the majority of his career. Right. At age 42, he finally was able to play in major leagues, well past his prime, and he's considered one of the best baseball players. Like, that's absurd. Absurd. Dude should have been playing in the majors from the get-go. Best pitcher of all time, someone actually just corrected me. Like, the best pitcher of all time, he's considered. And they wouldn't let him in the league until he was 42 fucking years old. That's absurd.
Damn.
Now explain to me, people who don't think that DEI matters, why he didn't get in any earlier. Can't be because he wasn't talented enough, right? One of the best pitchers of all time? Or the best pitcher of all time? Tokyo Hans with a super chat. I vote to help Musk's dream to come true on going to Mars. Let's send him tomorrow. Yeah. Adam M with a super chat. You guys said some time ago that Trump is funny. I've never thought Trump was funny. If Kyle does his impression, of course, I'm going to laugh. I mean, listen, Trump is unintentionally funny. He does have. Sometimes I think he is intentionally funny. Listen. Bad people can be naturally charismatic. They just are. They can be. That doesn't mean they're good people. But it's clear that
his
Trump
tweet
has
about
something.
Barney Frank's disgusting nipples on the
Yes,
House floor.
I mean,
very disrespectful. I mean, that's objectively hilarious.
Trump has something that draws you to him, and that's why he's so popular. I mean, it is what it is. Some people don't have that and need to be the richest person in the world for people to like them.
Have you all not seen the nipples tweet from Trump? I have to find it then, so you know what I'm talking about. Trump, Barney Frank.
Trump's Barney Frank nipples tweet.
Yeah, I have to show it if they.
Yeah, you got. If people don't know, it. Here, I'll send it to you. I just found it.
Oh, you found it? Okay.
Yeah, I'll put it in the chat. It's a classic. It's an absolute classic.
Barney Frank looked disgusting, nipples protruding in his blue shirt before Congress. Very, very disrespectful.
You zoom in a bit. It's a bit too far out. I don't know why it's so wide. You can barely read it.
Let me see if I can find the actual shirt. Blue shirt. So you can see what
it's a classic. It is absolutely a classic tweet. Or the Diet Coke one, or the Diet Coke one.
Yeah,
Or the Diet Coke one. 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 Or the Diet Coke one.
So this is the shirt Trump was talking about. Nipples protruding, very disrespectful.
I mean, here's another classic.
Objectively,
bring this one up.
Banger.
Bring this one up. This is another classic. Like, listen, you don't write gold like this unless you have something there. I mean, this is an ultimate post. I mean, do you remember this one, Mike? The Coca-Cola company is not
happy with me. That's okay. I'll still keep drinking that garbage.
I mean, that's a classic. Like, come on. Come on.
Yeah. You've got to hand it to him. Sometimes he puts out bangers. Doesn't mean he's a good person, but he's got some good tweets.
Yeah. All right, let's go back to the super chats. I got one more right now. Let's see. Penelope Diote. We boomers want our Social Security and Medicare. We've been protesting since the 60s. Absolutely. And see, I guess boomers really haven't changed. They're still thinking all about themselves first and foremost. But but in this scenario, it just works in our favor too.
Their protests are protecting us too. Yeah. No.
In this, it's a joke. It's a joke, boomers. Don't come at me. I don't need everyone over the age of like 45 coming at me right now.
I mean, they turned out when Bush tried to privatize Social Security. They did not fuck around. So shout out to the boomers.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there anything else?
That's it for me for
Rebecca.
now.
Okay, I'll read through Rebecca's. Nintendo Gaming Channel says, I have a question for Leftist Mafia. My opinion, every countries tell their citizens to skip US, possible forever, since it's now Nazis-controlled country. I think what you're saying is, should you visit the United States? I would not visit the United States right now. No, if you can avoid it, do not visit the United States. I don't think it's safe.
Wait, people are misunderstanding me. The reason I said I don't need everybody over the age 45 coming after me is because I dissed both boomers and Gen X tonight. I'm including you all in there. I'm 38 years old. I don't think boomers are 45 and older. I don't think Gen X is the sliver between 38 and 45. I'm including Gen X and boomers in over 45 because I mean, technically, over 45 and under what, like 27 should be coming at me tonight. Millennials are literally the only ones who should like me now.
I guess so. Omega Star, thanks for the 10 to Rebecca. Evening, Rebecca and chat. Wonderful to see everyone. Thank you for that. Appreciate you sharing that to Rebecca. Charlie DeJinmer, thanks for the 5. As Ole put it, they come for you in the morning, they come in for me at night, and with the same kind of rhetoric too, they have no creativity. Yeah, absolutely. Nintendo with 3 for Rebecca. What has Linda McMahon done since being in the White House? Not really much.
She's the one in charge of dismantling the... Yeah, she's the one in charge of dismantling the education
Doge already mostly did that, so she's just, I guess, kind of helping. She's the assistant to Elon Musk in his dismantling. It seems like really he's running the show.
I mean, she's there because she donates to Trump, and this is Trump's thank you. I mean, that's
yeah.
That's what it is.
Right. It's and not to actually do a job.
And she needs something to do now that her husband is currently, banished from society due to the accusations where he sexually trafficked, assaulted, and shit on an employee of his when he was working at the WWE. So I mean, she's got nothing better to do but dismantle the Department of Education after donating millions of dollars to Donald Trump.
Yeah. Not my Michael. Thank you for the 5 to Rebecca. Appreciate that. Omega, thanks for the 2 to Rebecca. Here's a baby super chat for the goal. Appreciate that. Omega Star, thanks for the 99 cents to Rebecca. DJ Prodigy, thanks for the 5 to Rebecca. How have you guys dealt with fallouts from family, friends who voted for this? I was for empathy the first time, but now I'm called the intolerant left. Me personally, DJ, the way that I've dealt with it is just not speak to them. I have not spoken to my Trump supporting family members a single time, and I don't plan to anytime soon. I also forgave them the first time. Second time, I'm done. So I'm not the best person to ask because I just cut them off forever. Omega.
People seem to not know what I was referring to. Linda McMahon's husband, Vince McMahon, is currently a defendant in a lawsuit, and it's the reason he's no longer running the company he created, the WWE. He is a defendant in a lawsuit stating that he sex trafficked an employee. He basically coerced her into sex in the office, and on at least one occasion, according to the woman, he allegedly, without her permission, just shit on her face, like shit on her head, like got on top of her and shit on, like literally defecated on her. I
thought that you were just like talking figuratively. He actually defecated on her head.
No. He defecated on an employee that he sex trafficked.
What?
Allegedly. Yes, and that's why he's no longer part of the WWE. That's why you won't be seeing him in wrestling anymore. It's yeah. I'm literally, this is, you could look it up. This is, and the federal government was actually investigating him too, based on the fact that his publicly traded company, funds were used, because the WWE was publicly traded, company funds were used to pay off these women. And so the federal government was investigating him over this, of course, until Trump came along, and then they dropped that. But there's still the lawsuit from the woman that's still ongoing.
Jesus, yeah, I wasn't aware of this. We've got 6 super stickers to Rebecca from Omega Star. Very kind of you, Omega.
And someone just asked, does McMahon still? Sorry, someone just asked, does McMahon still own WWE? No, he sold WWE to Endeavor, the group that owns UFC. The company that also one of the guys who runs the company, executive in the company, is a major Donald Trump backer, and of course just got added to Facebook's board of directors. And on top of that, was just recently seen hanging out with Andrew Tate and his brother. So I mean, I guess they went from being owned by an alleged sex trafficker to just being owned by a right winger who is friends with sex traffickers, allegedly. So I mean,
sounds like great people. Chris the Doll, thanks for the $4 super sticker to Rebecca. Let's see here. I think that's all the super chats for Rebecca. So the remainder are going to be either to me or David. So I will go ahead and start reading those. Kai, thanks for the $7.99 Australian. Can you talk about Greenpeace being ordered to pay $660 million to big oil? Truly fucked president. I organized for climate and BDS, and people are worried. So I haven't heard about this specific case. I know that the FBI is trying to criminally charge climate organizations and groups like Habitat for Humanity because they're claiming that they defrauded the federal government by taking EPA money, since they think that climate change is a hoax. So if you're, taking this money for something that's fake, that's fraud according to them. So I'm not sure if Greenpeace is caught up with that. I'm not sure if this pertains to a particular lawsuit, but the way that this administration in general is cracking down on climate change groups, I think that any NGO, any group that does activism in particular, should really be worried right now, because this is truly unprecedented what's happening. Well, I shouldn't say it's unprecedented, because these groups were targeted before. It's new for our generation. Like in modern history, like our generation hasn't experienced this level of an attempt to outright criminalize activism, and it's genuinely alarming. John Lithium, thank you so much for another 5 gifted. You are so kind, my friend. Thank you so much. Nanner, thanks for the 5. You guys rock. Thanks for everything you do. Well, thank you so much. Bay Photo, thanks for the 5. Y'all see the concerns. Trump will declare martial law on 420. Yes, we did. Kyle Kalinske did a video today. Yeah, I watched Kyle's video. I don't necessarily know if that
Why are they
is
saying
true.
420?
I think that that's 90 days after Trump signed his executive order that allows him to invoke the Insurrection Act, and it's also Hitler's birthday, so Elon Musk might want to do it for the meme.
Oh, right.
I'm not 100% sure. With that being said, I think that it's still possible that at some point he does declare martial law. I'm just not convinced that it's 420 yet, but it is interesting. I would recommend people watch Kyle's video because he kind of breaks down the article of the
That's
analyst
also
who goes over it.
That's also Easter Sunday this year, by the way.
No, is it really?
Yeah.
On Jesus' death day. Sad.
No, that's not his death day. That's when he's.
Excuse me.
That's the resurrection day. Excuse you. Come on, Mike.
Right. God, I'm a little bit dusty on my resurrection history. Mackie,
boy.
thank you for being a member. D. Gordon, thank you for being a member as well. Appreciate that. Welcome. Tokyo Hans, thanks for the 500 yen. Mike, I appreciate you letting us know about the gun classes, but I'm good. Kisses biceps. Hell yeah, brother. That'll come in handy. Unknown, thanks for the 5 pounds. Back then, we were gentlemen. Tea throwing in a harbor is not gentlemanly. That's wasted tea. Right. Mackie, TYT makes trans intolerance comfortable. Why? Yeah, because they are spiraling, and I guess they never cared, right? If they're willing to throw trans people under the bus, then I guess they never cared in the first place. Corey, thank you so much for the 20. Very, very kind super chat. New Thomas Paine is circulating. It's great at deprogramming those people. It isn't letting me share a link in super chat, but I shared it in regular chat. Thank you, Corey. Thanks for sharing that. I did not see that, but that is something that I'd certainly be interested in checking out. Igor, thanks for the 10. Aaron Parnash just said Elon will get a military briefing about possible war scenarios with China. That is alarming.
Sweet.
That
perfect.
And when you take into account the moves they're making to potentially invade Iran, also very chilling. We're in tumultuous times. Charlie, thanks for being a member for 4 months. Appreciate you. Nintendo Gaming Channel. Eric Cartman is MAGA, Trump administrations. Yeah, I mean, I think that fits. Sir Gerbil, thanks for the 15. Very kind. My representative Nancy Mace, I'm so sorry, released a statement calling town halls fake news. Oh my God, she is the biggest idiot. For her, it's all an act. I think that she is not as stupid as she's letting on. She's acting like a buffoon and emulating Marjorie Greene because she wants attention. Like, when she was first elected, she was arguing with Marjorie Greene and calling her batshit insane, but that didn't get her any news coverage and didn't help her fundraise. So she realized, oh, I could just act like a fucking buffoon and raise lots of money. So that's what she's doing. But yeah, I'm not surprised that she wouldn't want to do a town hall because, I mean, if you're one of her constituents, what has she done for you? She has done nothing. So yeah, people would give her an earful. So it makes sense that she doesn't want to do that. Save Grayson's Cats. Thanks for the 10. Very kind of you. Finally got a night off work so I can see this live. I am so alone in Kentucky. Well, hey, I'm glad that you got a night off work and that you're hanging out with us. I'm so sorry that you're in Kentucky. Listen, it doesn't matter where you are. There are like-minded people. It's just a matter of finding them. Try to see if there's a DSA chapter nearby. Try to see if there is like a left-leaning group on Facebook potentially. You don't have to be alone, my friend. I know it helps to, listen to us online, but if you really do want to meet people, I think that you probably can. So I would encourage you to do that because it's not good to be alone, especially when times are so crazy. So, hang in there, bud. G-Wick, thanks for the 5. 1 million seconds is about 11 days. 1 billion seconds is about 31 years. It's obscene for anyone to have $1 billion. Just saying, yeah, it's great to, to see it in that perspective because it shows you the significant difference between 1 million and 1 billion. Absolutely. There's a YouTuber that does these types of things with rice. So you see like how big of a difference things are by looking at individual rice grains and how big the piles are. And I think that those things are really good at putting big numbers into focus for us, helping us to visualize. Okay. To Joswi, Rugurama, I'm so sorry, I probably butchered that. Thank you so much for the 200 rupees. Very kind. We do know how BYD managed to make amazing cars for so cheap, right? Cough, cough, worker rights. Cough, no minimum wage, though. Tesla sucks, but why celebrate a company with worse worker rights? Yeah, that's probably correct. yeah, it's something to think about. Roland, thanks for the 5. So guys, can we acknowledge the controlled opposition? Oh yeah, Democrats are basically controlled opposition, controlled by their donors, 100%. Rochelle, thanks for the 5. One effect of Musk heading Doge is that, intentional or not, it directs some of the public heat away from Trump. I think that Trump is fine with that. Yeah, I don't think you're wrong. Pidhajnik, thanks for the 5. Serious question, is Fetterman just BB's Gollum? Both from Pennsylvania too. Oh, interesting. Yeah, they are both from Pennsylvania. I feel like he's more of a orc, Shrek type figure. Roland, thanks for the 5. So, Mike, since we live in hell, which do you think is more likely? Donald running for a 3rd term or Don Jr. taking throne in 2028? I think a 3rd term is probably the most likely thing. But certainly Trump Jr. will probably run at some point. Although, I worry less about him because if you look through history at these types of leaders, the son or the successor never can compare. They never can match the charisma and the command that the original had. So I don't worry as much about Don Jr. so much as I worry about another Trump term. MH, thanks for the 2. Mike, run for office, please. Look, I've thought about it, but at the end of the day, I genuinely don't want to. I think that would just be miserable. Would I be good as a legislator? Yes. But do I want to do that? Do I want to dedicate so much time and energy trying to be one voice in a sea of Congress, hundreds of people? That's not going to make that big of a difference. I don't know. I don't think I'm up for that. I don't think it's worthwhile. I think I'd be a great congressperson. I think I would represent my constituents extremely well and make them very happy. And I would push as hard as I can to be, a tick in the ass of every Democrat and Republican. But at the same time, I just feel like it's not worth the self-sacrifice personally. So, I mean, I've thought about it just out of hope that maybe I can help in some way, but I'm good. I have thought about it though. Max Danger, thanks for the 5. Check out the Rep Hagman footage. Looks like even Wyoming is starting to wake up. Lamau took long enough to have good news from my home state. I saw some of that. This is the replacement for Liz Cheney. She's getting roasted by constituents there. And she's trying to play it cool. Oh, I love Doge and Elon Musk. I don't remember what she said exactly, but I saw a clip and it was really funny. She's getting her ass chewed out, rightfully so. Charlotte Roy, excuse me, thanks for the 10. Have you all seen Kyle's video about the potentially declaring martial law on 420? Yeah, just addressed that. Yeah, I did watch it. Interesting video. Chris Corcoran, thanks for the 5. Thoughts on Gal Gadot getting protested? She claimed to believe in humanity, but only spoke about the hostages right after the ceasefire broke. F her. Yeah, I think she's phony. I don't really follow celebrity culture that closely. I've never been a fan of her movies. I think her movies have all been boring. I'm just not a fan in general. So yeah, I think she's two-faced. A lot of celebrities are two-faced, though, to be fair. I think they want to support Palestine, but they're too cowardly to do it. So she's just part of that coward bunch who doesn't have the spine to speak up for what's right. Izzy, thanks for the 5. I'm currently playing Assassin's Creed Shadows as I watch the Leftist Mafia stream. Really good game. Love it. Hey, I'm happy to hear that. I haven't played an Assassin's Creed game since, I think it was the one after Brotherhood. I don't remember. It was the 3rd one in the Ezio trilogy. That's the last Assassin's Creed game that I played. So I'm a fan of the series. I just haven't touched a new one in a while, but it's nice to know that it's still good. Chris, thanks for the 2. Schumer has made more folds than his own forehead. Autistic Goblin, thanks for the member chat. Mike, that rant, the fighting cowboy rant, just flooded my basement. That's the woke rage that I needed tonight. I just need to hear people as angry as I am. Yeah, it was really cathartic to hear that. I love Cowboy. He is such a great streamer, very entertaining, awesome Soulsborne player, very talented, and great walkthroughs. Huge fan. And now that rant just reinforces me being a fan of him. Lizzie, thanks for the 5. Yasuke is a historical figure in ancient Japan. I can think of all these games and shows that had William Adams as a samurai and none said shit. Yeah, Look, it just comes down to they just don't want to see black people or women in video games. That's literally what this is about. Sakti, thanks for the 5. This chat is thoroughly cathartic. Thanks, guys, for cheering me up. Hey, I'm glad that the chat cheered you up. Tropical Ding Dong, thanks for the 5. Ask me for my fall off the bone billionaire recipe. Ooh, sounds juicy. Lizzie, thanks for the 5. Also, huge thanks to Mike for the Luigi track. I've been playing that in my office all day at work. Hell yeah, hell yeah. Glad you like it. Greg, god damn it, Mike, you're the shit. Hey, thank you so much. Really appreciate that. I exist. Thanks for the 6. Arkansas bills I've kept an eye on. SB 91 in the House. HB 1445. Killed could resurrect. And HB 1668, the anti-trans haircut one in House Committee. I am going to mention HB 1668 in tomorrow's video about trans rights. If you're feeling down and depressed, watch my video tomorrow. It is a positive video about trans rights. So in Wisconsin, they had an assembly bill that they held a hearing on to ban gender-affirming care. A bunch of people showed up to speak for and against it. And one elderly guy that showed up to protest or to speak in support of the ban, by the time he listened to all the testimonies from trans people, he's like, you know what? I'm sorry, I've been educated. My eyes were opened. I apologize. He had his mind changed by hearing trans stories. It is the most heartwarming thing that I've seen, I think, since Trump took office. So watch that video if you need a little bit of a pick-me-up. Zia Spots, thanks for the 5. Been calling my reps 10 times a day. Hell yeah. On various issues, the budding regime is counting on us being overwhelmed, but we're not going to give in. Fuck yeah, Zia. That's the way to go. Never back down. Appreciate that. Tara, thanks for the 5. With dismantling the education department, so many are worried about their loans going up and potentially going bankrupt. Kyle had a video talking about some more than 2 times. Yeah, I saw that video. I didn't get to watch that yet from Kyle. I am worried as well. I need to log into my Nelnet account and see what's going on because I have all my loans set on auto pay, so I should probably check to see what my payments are. Because, yeah, I know that people are also having a hard time getting access to Save, which is the Biden-era program that Trump wants to kill because Biden did it, so it's bad by definition. Yeah, I need to check out my student loans, see what's happening. I've just had it on auto pay. I would encourage you all to do the same. Just take a look and see what they're taking out.
Everyone with student loans is going to be transferred to a great new program called Trump Loans. It's going to be the greatest loan you'll ever have. The interest goes directly. The interest goes directly to me. When you pay the loan off,
God.
When you pay the loan off, it automatically buys the Trump meme coin. It's fantastic.
Yeah. I don't want to think about my student loans right now. Looney Tunes, thanks for the 5. Mike's the winner of Equal Pay this week since Lance and Ariana aren't here. Enjoy. Hey, thank you so much. Rimuru, thanks for the 5. Awesome Dragon Ball Z shirt, Mike. Hey, thank you. I'm glad that you like it. Have you ever watched Dragon Ball Abridged? If so, how did you like? Also, has anyone watched Hell of a Boss on YouTube? I love it. I have not seen Dragon Ball Abridged. I'm rewatching Dragon Ball Z now. I actually never fully watched it all the way through. Like, I know the story. I played Kakarot and whatnot, but I'm rewatching it now, and I'm really enjoying it. But I've never seen Abridged. I haven't seen Hell of a Boss also, so maybe I'll check that out. Zero, thanks for the $2. Can you all talk about my last comment, please? Are you still in the chat?
What was the last comment?
Can you put that in the chat right now? Don't super chat it. Just put it in the chat if you're still there, and I'll talk about it.
Please, next time in the future, anyone who wants to ask us to acknowledge something, don't send the super chat asking to talk about the non-super chat. Just put what you want us to see in the super chat.
Yeah, I think that they might not be here. Okay, we're gonna move on. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, definitely give us the context in the super chat if you can. I exist. Thanks for the 2. For people in AR, look up Arkansas Renters United. Okay. Sounds like a tenant organization. Greg, thanks for the 2. Deport Elon to Mars. I'll pitch in some money. I would pitch in some money for that too. Fuck yeah. Rowan Chandler, thanks for the 250. Mike is looking so cute today. Well, thank you so much. Really appreciate that. I'm an old man, Mike, so I appreciate the compliments.
Mike, you're getting hit on.
Love it. Wow, I feel so special. Thank you. Thank you. I'm a married man. Calm down. Calm down. Izzy, thanks for the 5. OMG, imagine they colonize Mars. We will have a libertarian planet. It would be literally War of the Worlds. Yeah, I would love to see them colonize Mars. They can all take each other out. I'd be down with that. KG, thanks for the 2. Binder bent it like Beckham on MR like old times. Good job, Binder. Sam, thanks for the 5. Like the DBZ show. Thank you, Sam. Also going to email you some movies to watch in a few days. Anora included. LOL. I'm not going to watch Anora. Also, hashtag Schumer needs to go. Yes, absolutely. But I appreciate your movie recommendations, Sam, always. You know that. Zainab, thanks for the 5. Nice to see you, Zainab. Mike, have you guys heard about Ezra Klein's new stupid book? Technocracy, Elitist Liberal, Faux Yimby, repackaged Teal Yarvin Elysium, LOL. Seriously, I haven't heard of his book. I hate Ezra Klein so much. So if I knew about his book, it'd probably piss me off. Maybe I'll look into it if I need some rage bait. But no, I haven't, and that sounds like a shitty book. Tim Kruller, thanks for the 2. Can Ivanka come back and stop Donnie Dictator? Yeah, I mean, maybe she would be a reasonable voice. I mean, things are so bad. I don't know if anybody's gonna stop him at this point. He's a wrecking ball. JJ, thanks for the 2. We need another Bernie-like candidate. Honestly, I think the closest we're going to get is Tim Walz. He's somebody who very clearly gets it, and if he were to run a campaign where he's not being tied down by dumbass Biden campaigners or consultants, I think he could have the potential to go the distance. So that's probably going to be the closest we get. Omega, thanks for the 10. Very, very kind. Justin Timberlake voice. Bringing Dark Woke back. Yeah. The conservatives don't know how to act. So afraid of our plan of attack. Yeah.
What are you doing, Mike? Are you
Take it to the bridge. Like I'm doing.
Sounds like there's an animal dying somewhere.
Well, thank you. That's. Have you not heard "Sexy Back"? That's the way it is. It's like fucking. He's kind of like. I don't know how to describe it. I can only mimic it.
He's not doing that. I can tell you that much.
Do you know which song I'm talking about, though?
I know what you're talking about, but he's not. It's not. This is not like a dying moose.
I tried. Okay, I tried. Goddamn. Rochelle, thanks for the 5. I'm doing the opposite of many Gen Xers. At this rate, I will kick the bucket of full-blown commie. Had to edit to post. Nice. Yeah. Read Marks. Omega Shenron Dragon, thanks for the $5. Matt, please do a Chucky. I was gonna say Chuck E. Cheese. I'm getting tired. A Chuck Schumer voice for this. Go ahead.
This is going to ruin the tour.
What tour?
I wasn't nasally enough. I wasn't. It's like, this is going to ruin the tour.
And then I say, what tour?
The book tour. Anyhow, much. Oh wait, I thought I was gonna go. Anyhow, much love, y'all. It's Chuck Schumer.
A little bonus Chuck Schumer there. Love it. Cosmere, thank you for the 20. Very, very kind. Appreciate that. Do you watch Charlie Penguin Zio Moist Critical? Huge streamer who seems to have lefty views, doesn't usually discuss politics, but hates insurance companies, and once got into a beef with Sneeko, Joe Rogan of the left. I like Charlie. I think he's cool. He plays a lot of Soulsborne games, so I already am drawn to him. He is a supporter of LGBTQ people. You know, for big content creators, I'll say he's one of the better ones. I appreciate him. So yeah, I do. I like Charlie. Connor Miles, thank you for the $10. I I was at Bennett's town hall last night, and he all but said they're going to shiv Schumer. Wow, it's important for people in leadership to know when it's time to go. Fuck yeah, I'd like to hear that. Thanks for the good news, Connor.
Oh, that was a turn of phrase. I thought all of a sudden Bennett got radicalized and was like, "Oh, I'm carving the
violent revolution." Yay! Quite the 180 from his 2020 Milquetoast campaign.
No, but I think it's important for people for Democrats in Congress to speak out against the leadership. They're failing them. They're failing their constituents. Yep. This is absurd. It's absurd.
Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries, they're bringing down the entire party's approval rating. Like it's a sinking ship. Either go down with it or get off. Get somebody new. Troy Mawson.
Oh, wait,
thanks for the
some 5. Of this stuff is for me. Oh, that's for me. That's for me.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Oh, and the Connor Miles one was for me too. That $10 Bennett.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Taking my posts, my super chat.
I had the momentum going. I couldn't stop.
Thank you, Connor. Troy Mawson with a super chat. As a Gen Xer, I'm not going to give you static for dissing our generation. We have a lot of dysfunctional ones. Wait, thank you, Troy. Listen, the good Gen Xers, just like the good people of all the generations. Respect and love for you all. Marla Surratt with a super chat. Did you see Trump told prosecutors to drop charges against Enrique Tarrio, who was arrested after allegedly assaulting a woman protesting his speech? I didn't see that. What? Really? I mean, that's surprising.
Drop charges again after he was already pardoned? How many of these people who are pardoned keep getting arrested?
It just happened. A D.C. prosecutor won't move forward with Tarrio assault charge after Capitol arrest. This was just today.
Wow.
Adam M. with a super chat. Did Chuck screw the Baileys or did the Baileys screw the Baileys? You want me to do like a Vince McMahon? Like, Brett screwed Brett. The Baileys screwed the Baileys. Yeah, I mean... The Baileys don't exist, first of all. We have to all understand that. I want that to be very clear to everyone. The Baileys are the imaginary upper middle class Long Island family that Chuck Schumer made up and claims that all of his decisions in politics are based on whether the Baileys, again, an imaginary upper middle class Long Island family, would approve of them or not. It is like this. It's like
wild.
I mean, honestly, if someone came up to you in any other place of work and said, "Oh, I don't know if I could approve the budget for that," the imaginary family that comes around with me won't like that. They would send you to an asylum.
They care about taxes.
You would be you would be in a mental institution.
Right, and rightfully so. Okay, do you have any others?
That's it for me. Over on Twitch, I got
I still
Gritty
have some
Baby.
more.
Oh, let me just say this really quick. Gritty Baby over on Twitch gave out 5 community gift subs. Thank you so much, Gritty Baby. I really appreciate the support. Go ahead, all you.
Okay, let's see. Where are we at? Okay, Bayphoto, thank you so much for the 5. North Korea has a list of approved haircuts its citizens can get. That's the direction we're going with some of these bills. Yeah, I mean, the bills are getting comical. And when I say comical, I mean draconian.
Did you see the one that I just saw today? I think it was Arkansas, where it would be illegal to give your child a non-gender conforming haircut.
No, I didn't see that one in particular.
So, like,
I know somebody brought that up though. I didn't look into it.
Literally, I guess being a metalhead in high school would be outlawed because the boy would have long hair.
So Bayphoto is right. We're already there.
Yeah, girls couldn't get the pixie cut anymore because
that's
you couldn't
wild.
be an emo girl with emo kid with short hair. God forbid, can't do that. Girls need to have long hair. You got to all look like cheerleaders.
What's funny is that, like, when you're cutting a little girl's bangs, like my sister, for example, when she would cut my niece's hair, like just her bangs, sometimes she'd fuck up and mess it up. Or like if they're getting haircuts just to trim, they fuck up and then have to get like super short. Or one time my niece cut her own hair, and so she had to get it cut into like a pixie to make it look even. So that would be illegal. That'd be a crime if that were to pass. obviously it's unconstitutional. It's just so idiotic that they are wasting their time with this.
Right. I mean, it's who knows? Like you were mentioning, accidentally cut your kid's bangs too short, so you got to give them an overall haircut. You might end up in an electric chair. I mean,
who knows? Or gulag.
I mean, fuck. What do you like? God, I mean, I would never survive. I would have been. I had non-gender conforming hair my entire. I still have non-gender conforming hair.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very stupid. Yeah, Zainab had a great point about how black women have always had their hair like policed and like had dumbass rules. I know that like some schools try to make it so that way like black girls can't put beads in their hair. There was that school, I think it was in Texas, where the kid, he was like a senior in high school, maybe a junior. Anyways, he had braids in his hair, and they said that that was like, I don't remember what the reasoning was for him, but they refused to let him have braids. It was fucking insane. So yeah, I mean, they've been going in this direction for a very long time, but for them to actually like codify it and make it a law, if that passes, just insane, absolutely insane.
What if someone in the chat, one of the chats said, "What if you're Nazi skinhead woman?" Maybe there'll be a carve out for that. Maybe there'll be an exception. Yeah.
Yeah, Zainab brings up the GOP congressperson who tried to make, is from Minnesota, who tried to make Trump derangement syndrome an actual mental disorder. Did you all hear what happened to that guy? He got caught trying to solicit sex from a minor after introducing that bill. I mean, these people they are scum of the earth. You cannot work with these people like Democrats want. You cannot negotiate with them. They are trash. They need to be disregarded, pushed aside, and then we need to govern without them. That's the only way we can survive as a society, because these people are fucking psychopaths. Okay. Zero.
I got a few more super chats too. Go ahead.
Okay. Do you want to read yours first so I don't accidentally step on your toes?
Oh no, go ahead, because I think that one came before. We just go in order. There's only like one or two.
Okay. Okay, just let me know if I pull up yours. Zero, thanks for the 2. BB gifting Fetterman a silver-plated pager. Yeah, I wouldn't trust that.
We talked about that earlier.
But if he ever betrays BB, I don't know. Let's see here. Greg, thanks for the 5. Donald is old as fucking dumb, so hopefully he wears out soon before destroying too much. For context, Adolf was 44 when he started his BS and died at 56. Okay, interesting context. Kodachrome, thanks for the 5. I'm gonna be honest, I've abandoned trying to save America and tilted fully into Californian leftist nationalism. This kind of incompetency is a death nail. I mean, I don't blame you. Zainab, thanks for the 2. For Mike's badass rap, loved it, awesome. Hey, well, thank you. I admit that it was very cringeworthy, but I don't try to sing or rap often. So there you go, my Justin Timberlake / Timbaland.
Just remove the word ass from your comment, and it's perfect.
Mike's ass rap. Okay.
No, remove the word ass.
Oh, I mean, it kind of is the same thing. Mike's bad rap / Mike's ass rap. Like, it's just bad. It's ass.
I guess.
Yeah. Lizette, thank you so much for the very generous $20 super chat. That is so kind. Mike, your insightful political commentary has been a beacon of clarity and sanity for me during these turbulent times. Thank you for your dedication and the positive impact you've made. Lizette, thank you so much. That really means so much. The fact that you are finding some catharsis in my rants, that means so much. I really, really appreciate you saying that. Thank you so much. Needed the validation today. Justin says, to be clear, I'm not advocating fighting police. Oh, wait, it seems like I'm reading these out of order.
What? I have to say, what's going on?
Yeah. I wanted to go back just to make sure I get his context here. If plainclothes officers get out of civilian cars, say they are ICE, and try to detain me with no warrant, can I exercise my right to resist? To be clear, I'm not advocating fighting police. I'm just tired of seeing them do things, and we as civilians are expected to not physically act. I would definitely... So I don't know the specifics. I don't want to give you any advice. But if I were in that situation, I would ask to see a badge. Definitely ask to see a badge if they're not in uniform. And if they're actually arresting you, then take note. Are they reading you your Miranda rights? Remember, you don't have to speak. You have the right to remain silent. Fifth Amendment. And I don't think it matters if it's an ICE agent or a cop. If they try to get you to sign something, you can have a lawyer present. You don't have to sign that. So, I don't want to give out legal advice because I'm not an attorney, but just if I were in that situation, I would certainly ask to see a badge. It shouldn't be legal for anybody who isn't in uniform to arrest anyone or pull anyone over. I think that unmarked vehicles, that's just like, if you're a woman driving home and this unmarked vehicle pulls you over, think of the situation that could set up where maybe it's not a cop. It's just somebody pretending to be a cop. It's not like difficult to get one of those lights you could put in your fucking vehicle and you could prey on somebody that way. It's just the fact that this is allowed, the fact that so many things like civil asset forfeiture exists where cops can basically rob you is insane. Like, this country is so ass backwards. Evan, thanks for the member chat. 420 is also Hitler's birthday. Yeah. Zainab, thanks for the 2. Save Grayson Katz. Love to a fellow Kentuckian. Hey, well, there you go, Grayson. You got Zainab there, also from Kentucky. Zero, thoughts on BB
That's
gifting
for me.
Fetterman? Oh, that's for you. Okay, sorry.
Zero, thoughts on BB gifting Fetterman a silver-plated pager and Fetterman's giddy response. We talked about it earlier. Check it out. We really ridiculed Fetterman. It would be hard to recreate the moment as well as it was earlier.
Mm-hmm. You also got 5 gifted.
Oh, Alderman Gomez, thank you for the 5 gifted memberships at youtube.com/MattBinder. Really appreciate it. And T-Types with a $10 super chat. Thank you so much. Went to buy some CBD flower tonight and was told by the owner that 2 weeks ago, 16 armed federal agents barged into his vape shop, unplugged his cameras, and seized all of his CBD products. Legal in Michigan.
What?
Was it possible that there were, I don't know why federal agents would, but I know in New York, the NYPD was shutting down non-licensed locations. I don't know if that has to do with that. I don't know Michigan law, but federal agents. I don't know.
There's a lot of weird regulations with weed stores. Like in Oregon, you can't use a debit or credit card. You have to use cash. There's certain things they have to give you. I don't know if they're still doing this. They have to give you like a little paper that says like something about the dangers of marijuana or some shit. It's really weird. So it might not be like the Trump administration cracking down, but it's still really sussy.
It's I get that the issue with the credit cards, maybe that the payment processors are not allowed to process payments for something that's still illegal in certain states. I'm not sure.
We were able to use cards at first, or it was cash at first, and then there was like a year or so where we were using cards, and then it went back. I'm not really sure what's going on. I haven't been following it.
But then that's really funny. Though. Listen, we want to make this as safe and secure as possible. So the only payment method we will accept is not traceable. It ties nothing to you whatsoever. Makes it you think they'd want people to use their cards, right?
It's so stupid. It makes no sense whatsoever. I'm just happy it's legal still. Knock on wood. Justin says, "Hey guys, I think you missed my soup chat on cops." Hey, you spoke too soon. We got to that already. Thank you, Justin.
Mike did that on purpose so you would send him another super chat reminding him to go back to the first super chat.
We just go in order. Sometimes it takes a while. Omega, thanks for the 2. Oddly, some fake ICE agents appeared somewhere. They're appearing everywhere. Doesn't matter. Big city, rural areas. They're everywhere. Sam, thanks for the 2. Thoughts on Sagar and Crystal? Heated debate this week. I watched that. I think that Crystal fucked him up. That's actually a
we watched it on
great
Majority
debate.
Report today. Yeah.
That was a great debate. Crystal basically exposed how the right is inconsistent and they just don't care. Like, their attitude is fuck them. As long as it's not happening to somebody I like, fuck them. That was an amazing debate. Crystal Ball is brilliant. Stoneflower, thanks for the 5. First felon appointed Charlie Kirk, Walt Nada, and Michael Flynn to military boards. WTF. Oh, really? Charlie Kirk's on a military board? Michael Flynn? What? This is the first time hearing of it. It wouldn't surprise me at all, honestly. Jerry, thanks for the 2. Anyone watch Walz push back against Newsom on guests? I saw a little bit of that. It was nice to see. Kodachrome, thanks for the 5. MAGA's only able to push so far before they trigger, a civil war. As Hearts of Iron 4 shows, the fire will rise. I mean, I don't necessarily think that a civil war is likely per se, but I think that a backlash is very, very possible. Especially if he really goes in and starts fucking with people's Medicare and Social Security. Like, you're not going to have any support from Republicans if you do that. And I think there's one more for you from T-Types.
Yes, T-Types with a 20-month membership super chat. Thank you, T-Types. CBD flower means it has less than 0.3% THC and can get you high. It's a type of product that's legal to sell anywhere in Michigan. I don't know what's going on there then. Oh, boy. All right, we'll have to keep on it, all right? There's a one that just came in for you too, I think, Mike.
Oh, okay.
Or maybe not.
No, I am good.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yep.
All right, that's it then, folks. That's the show for today. Mike, who do you want to raid?
I don't know. Who should we raid?
Let's see. I see
Riverboat
Jack.
I'm realizing on Twitch, I'm still following H3. There we go. Unfollow.
I see Riverboat Jack is on. Dylan Burns is on. Either of them sound good? Who do you want to...
What about Prime K's? We haven't rated him in a really long time.
I don't know them. What's their Prime?
It is
Cayes.
Yes.
All right, cool. It looks like they're doing a big multi-person stream.
Okay.
Are they? Sometimes that means they're not in that specific chat, but I guess we can just hope they are, so they see it. Sounds good to me.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean when we sometimes raid like people who are doing the multi-stream and they're not all in the chat? That there might be a main one that they're all
right.
But yeah, let's just do it.
I mean,
sounds good to me.
Okay. I'm
Prime K sounds good to me.
All right, everybody.
All right, you pressing it?
I'm ready to go whenever you are.
All right, here we go. All right. See you all very soon. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/MattBinder. Check out Mike, the Memes Report, and we'll see you all next time on the Leftist Mafia. I'm pressing raid now.
All right. Take care, everybody.